Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Real Talk Live where we talk about movies, TV shows, and all sorts of entertainment news. I'm Krypton Cage and I'm joined here today by my co-host, the Viking. How are you
What's
doing,
up,
man?
Jesse? What's up? It's the hottest day of the year here in Ireland. That's why I'm not covered up. That's why you can see probably my chest here because it's very hot here, and I've been sweating all day, and I'm drinking water all day as well. So it's pretty hot here.
Cool. All right, so we also have a special guest today, who will be a little bit late, but that's fine because the first topics, she hasn't watched the movies anyway, so we can quickly jump on to the first topic here, which is Space Jam Legacy, a new legacy. Um, so I haven't seen the first movie, first of all, and then I haven't seen the new one because it didn't seem that interesting to me. But you've seen the movie, and I've heard some mixed reviews. What's your take on it?
Yeah, and just Fear Jason's in the chat. Scott's there. Scott says, "Free the chest here." You know what? If I'll see if it gets too warm throughout the stream, I might have to take this off entirely, so it might get a little bit R-rated. And then the nice cast is here as well, so we got a good crew in the
Hey,
house. But yeah, Space Jam. No, I was actually kind of excited for Space Jam because I kind of grew up watching the original one with Michael Jordan, and like that movie came out years ago, and I think it looked pretty well for what it was trying to do. It was basically kind of Michael Jordan as himself, as a human being thrown into the Looney Tunes world, and they were all animated and cartoon and stuff. And I think it looked pretty well. At times, you can see that he's just talking to a puppet or somebody that's you can just tell at times. But yeah, I think he did okay back then for someone who's not like an actor. And it was a fun movie, and I grew up with it. Now, maybe if I was older at the time and I watched it back then, I may not have liked it, but I did like it a lot. And I thought it was cool how Michael B. Jordan came up with the Looney Tunes to play a basketball match against these aliens. It was pretty cool. And then Bill Murray makes a cameo in that one as well. And it was just a fun movie, and I still watch it. And it's a short movie; it's only an hour and 29 minutes. Now, Space Jam: A New Legacy is nearly 2 hours long, and you can feel it at times. I think it's an hour and 54 minutes. I've seen a trend with a lot of Warner Brothers movies, especially the ones that hit HBO Max and theatrical at the same time, is they're all around roughly 1 hour, 50 minutes, or just under 2 hours. Godzilla and a few other ones like that. Just under that 2 hours. And this one could have been probably cut a lot short. There's a lot of dialogue and a lot of talking in this one, which you don't really come for that as much. You want to hear, of course, you want to see jokes, but it takes a while before you actually get to see the Looney Tunes or before the actual plot happens. And LeBron James, yeah, at times, he's not an actor, so at times it's not the best. But I think he did a fine job. He's there to play basketball, and he does that pretty well, of course, in real life. But I was watching this movie to see the Looney Tunes and see them interact, and Bugs Bunny and all the crew. Grew up watching them, so I just wanted to see these guys have fun, and I hopefully have fun watching the movie. Now, the movie is okay. It's not. I didn't enjoy it as the original. I can still watch the original and get a lot of fun out of it. This one just kept dragging on at times, and it's very colorful, and there's a lot of special effects happening in the backdrop. You know that they're on like a stage, or they're on a lot somewhere, and this is all being done. It's all green screen. You can just tell with this. It's not really natural. Don Cheadle plays the villain. He's this AI kind of villain, and he was good. He was okay, and yeah, I just think it was an okay movie. I was expecting a little bit more. I still enjoyed it, but I probably won't find myself watching it again anytime soon. But then again, who's it made for? It's made for kids, younger audiences and stuff like that. So I was chatting to a friend who went to go see it in theaters, and it was full of children, and they were laughing and giggling and having such a good time. So, like, isn't that what it's all about? That a movie like this finds an audience, and it seems to be doing pretty well at the box office right now. I think it's exceeding expectations from what the projection of the box office was. And yeah, if kids are having a good time, and maybe some adults are having a good time as well with their kids, then what harm is it actually doing? Now, Warner Brothers is used a lot in this movie. It's the Warner Brothers serververse, and the logo is everywhere and stuff like that. And at times it was showcasing, oh, we own Harry Potter, we own Game of Thrones, we own DC, and that was very much in our face at the time. And then at the big basketball match at the end, in the background you can see kind of extras dressed up as iconic Warner Brothers characters, like Penguin from the Burton films or the Mad Max um, guys from Fury Road. So yeah, there's some nice Easter eggs to spot there. We actually go into the DC world and we get a look at the Justice League. We get a look at Superman. Batman Beyond is referenced. We got some poster drops of the Joker, 2019, and Aquaman. So there's some cool Easter eggs in this movie. So I think it's probably good to sit down maybe with somebody and just spot Easter eggs. That's what kind of I was looking out for. But yeah, Space Jam: A New Legacy. I think it's a good time to watch with maybe family or your kids. I watched it on my own as a 24-year-old, and my dad walked in and was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "I'm watching Looney Tunes." And there was a pause from him, and then he walked out. So it just shows you what my dad's into. But yeah, I think the film was fine, and I think we could actually get more. I think we could get a sequel with LeBron James if this film does well enough. And yeah, it was okay. It wasn't anything amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, the film is apparently doing well, and even with Black Widow and Fast Nine, out right now, the film is doing pretty
Yeah,
good. There's still a lot of bad press around this movie. Bad reviews, and people are saying the same thing. It's basically a full-on advertising or trailer for HBO Max, which I haven't seen the movie, but I don't understand that criticism because that is the point of the movie. They literally go into every single movie they can and stuff. So obviously they will show that and reference all of that, but I don't know, maybe it's too on the nose for people, or it's kind of cringy, but I haven't seen the movie, so I cannot judge that. But a lot of people have been saying, like you, that the movie is not bad and it's fine for what it is. So I'm curious if they would actually make a sequel to this, because this seems like a big franchise type thing, right? Like basically kind of like Ready Player One, where you can make multiple movies and have different references throughout the years, and people would enjoy that, right? So what do you think of the chances of it getting a sequel?
yeah. I think it's if it makes a lot of money, I think a sequel will happen. LeBron James is such a huge star, not only with basketball but through social media, through marketing, through products, through sponsorship. So he's an iconic kind of star. I'm interested to see the box office for this internationally, because he wouldn't like, he would be well known, but he wouldn't be like a sport icon, say like maybe a Cristiano Ronaldo in terms of soccer, which is a worldwide kind of sport, something like that, or maybe
Yeah.
a boxer or Conor McGregor or something like that. Because the universal sport kind of those kind of stars seem to do better. But yeah, I think it is set up. They can do more. They really really can. And like yeah, big criticism from people is that, oh, it's just to promote HBO Max and Warner Brothers. It's brought in with the plot. Like the Warner Brothers serververse it's actually cemented at the start of the movie, like why this is part of it and why LeBron James is going into this Warner Brothers verse. So yeah, it's the plot. It's there for the plot. That's why he finds himself in this situation. It's not just done to say, "Oh, we own all of this stuff." It does that, but it's actually they make a story out of it. And yeah, I think at times there's some very funny jokes, one-liners, and stuff like that. Don Cheadle, some funny jokes towards LeBron James, and yeah, I think there's some nice stuff in it there as well. And a nice cast. There's an interesting comment. It's interesting when people say that it's meant for kids and not for adults to enjoy, because back in the day, I feel like you had more films that were able to cater to both, and that's probably true. Yeah, that is true. And just for me, I didn't just enjoy it as much as the original one. Maybe if I was with my sister's 12, if I got to see it with her, maybe see her laugh, maybe enjoy it with her, something like that, maybe I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But yeah, I think it's a fine movie, and I just love spotting all the Easter eggs, really, to be honest with you, especially the DC ones. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze here in the background as well, which is pretty cool. And Danny DeVito's Penguin, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, stuff like that I thought was pretty cool. There was no Snyderverse ones. I
Of
couldn't see any,
course.
maybe somebody else did, but there was no any Snyderverse ones. We had the Burton Batman team. We had the Christopher Reeve Superman team. We had the Adam West Batman and Robin team there as well. But I didn't hear any Hans Zimmer or anything like that. Unfortunately, it would have been cool. Maybe I would have liked the movie a lot more if Batfleck showed up or something like that. Wonder Woman as well. There's a cool kind of scene there that was similar to Wonder Woman '84. Was brought into it, to introduce a character. So I thought that was pretty cool. I will say that I Zendaya as the voice for female bunny.
Lola?
I forget the name. Yeah, Lola. Was okay. People are saying, "Oh, she was the best thing about the movie." She didn't really have that much to do, to be honest. And I think the original voice for the character was much better, to be honest. But Bugs Bunny was a standout, and he had a lot of fun as well. So yeah, I think it's an okay movie. It's one to watch, Casey, if you want to just
Yeah, I might
back
check
and
it
just
out.
relax. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because
I
I
know it's
liked the animation, the character textures were fine. But some clips I saw that were kind of funny, like the Michael Jordan one, where he enters and they build it up. But again, I saw some clips that kind of look very cringy to me. So I was also very mixed on checking it out, but at some point I might. So there's that.
yeah, and I think Scott says you had, or it must be it had Wonder Woman's team. Or okay, I didn't. If I did, I didn't hear that. But yeah, that's cool. I didn't hear that usually. But there was actually a cool scene where LeBron James kind of writes down his kind of wish list of a basketball team he wants, like Superman's on, King Kong and stuff like that. And then they go to the DC world. There's actually a very funny bit there between Superman and LeBron James and Bugs Bunny, which is kind of cool. I like that. And there was a nice kind of shot of Gotham City, and it reminded me of Batman Beyond, the kind of redness, that kind of the city. I thought that was cool. So there's some cool stuff in it, but yeah, maybe others can appreciate more than I did.
Yeah. Or maybe if they put some of the new DCU stuff in there for this
Maybe,
crowd.
yeah, maybe, yeah. Maybe if you grew up with Burton and stuff like that, and those kind of Easter eggs, maybe you would have looked at those more fondly. I thought it was cool. I didn't hate it or anything. I just would have liked to see some modern day
Yeah.
stuff thrown in there too, as well. But yeah,
I saw a Mad Max clip today and that was just
yeah. Did you not like it?
no. I mean,
Did you see the one where they're actually in the movie? Is that the one you're talking about?
yeah, like the characters
Yeah.
were inside a scene of, Mad Max. So that was like, why is this in the movie? This looks like a YouTube edit, and they didn't even kind of change some of it or use deleted scenes to make it somewhat different. They just added animated characters on top of it. So that was kind of cringy to me, but I don't know. I would have liked it more probably um, if they actually recreated that scene in animation and then slightly changed it. That is something
Yeah.
that would be original in the movie, but just adding the animated characters in the already existent scene, that was just very odd to me.
Yeah, I will say that when they go into different universes, they don't stay in it too long. They don't overstay their welcome. You would probably think on the surface, oh, they're going to just play up Game of Thrones or Harry Potter because they're famous IPs for Warner Brothers, but they actually don't go into a lot of worlds. To be honest with you, there's just Easter eggs. There's just small references. It's not like they're in Hogwarts for like 20 minutes or even 10 minutes. They don't even go to Hogwarts at all. Stuff like that. It's just they have their own kind of story. And I don't know if this was because LeBron James was busy through basketball season, or it was easier for him to just lend his voice. But he's animated for a good majority of this movie. In the original, Michael Jordan was there as Michael Jordan, and in this one, LeBron James is there as himself at the start. And then there's a good bit of the film where he's just animated, and then he comes back in as himself with a big match. So I was surprised at that, and I just would have rather to see him as himself with the Looney Tunes.
Cool. All right, so let us know what you guys think if you have seen it, and I need some more boosting to do for me to actually go check it out because I right now I'm on the fence about it. So yeah, let me know. And before we go on to the next topic, let me introduce you today to our special guest, Amanda Colbert.
Just want to be here.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh no, I want to be here. I just don't want it to be filmed because I would rather be doing things with you all that can't be filmed.
What?
Yeah, what?
I was
Watching Space Jam.
I was talking about going on a
Right,
hike,
right, right.
Sean. I was talking about going on a hike.
Oh yes, sorry. Yes, I was.
Hiking people.
That's my fault. Yeah, I was hiking today, and I put out a tweet, and Amanda goes, "We should do that together." I'm like, SnyderCon is when we'll do a hike. Hopefully,
By
I'll
the
come back
way,
to
that
it.
is great lighting.
Steven.
Okay.
I think he's always like, oh, you're always better lit than I am. And I'm like, first of all, you did this, but also like, it's not like it's me, right? I'm not the reason the lighting
Right,
is
that's
better.
true.
By the way, is this too,
Yes.
is my sound good? This is the first
Yes,
time
it's cool.
we use this. Okay, cool. Thanks, Steven. Hi, everybody.
Amanda, yeah. Can I ask, because you have kids, have if you didn't know you have kids, and I'm just wondering if you have watched Space Jam yet.
I haven't. That's literally on the list for like movie tonight if they don't make me murder them first. No, it is on the list. I loved Space Jam when I was a kid. My whole family are like basketball freaks, so like we used to turn the lights off when Jordan played for the Bulls, okay? We used to turn the lights off at the beginning of every game for that like little graphic design entrance that they had of the bull running through the city of Chicago and then coming to the United Center, and it was like every Bulls fan right now is having flashbacks. We used to do that every single time the Bulls would play. We would watch on TV and turn the lights off in our house for the opener, and then we would turn them on. I don't know. My family's really big into basketball, is what I'm saying. So I watched Space Jam when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Loved it. Can't wait for Space Jam 2. I've heard like it's exactly what it's supposed to be. This is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Fun families, but that like no one's getting an Oscar.
Yeah.
Not even Bugs Bunny
is getting an Oscar. But Bugs Bunny's great though. He's just
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah. No, he's very funny. His one-liners are just brilliant. No, yeah, I had a good time with the movie. I just really like the original more, maybe because I grew up watching it. And I was just obsessed with like Michael Jordan. Was a star to me, and I didn't even watch basketball, but he was just in Looney Tunes, so I just loved Michael Jordan. And I knew he was a basketball player. So.
That's freaking adorable. Okay, so maybe you're fighting your own nostalgia, though.
Lose your nostalgia, Sean.
Might be the only reason. No. I'm not saying lose your nostalgia. I'm just saying, like, if you recognize that might be it. What would be interesting is to hear how old were you when you remember watching Space Jam?
Oh, like I was about 5, 6, 7, around that time, I suppose.
Okay. So I would be interested to know, like, what a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, whatever, now thinks about it. Because to them, Michael Jordan is just a guy.
Yeah, that's why we need Shep's opinion on this.
I will definitely ask him after this. I'm not kidding, you guys. Okay, when I say everyone in my family is like really loves basketball and is very, very talented at basketball, I mean that the day before I was born, when I was in my mommy's tummy, she was coaching a basketball game on the sidelines. The day before I was born. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say my family.
Nice.
And I don't really like basketball. It's fine. It's not like I hate it or anything anymore. But I'm not gifted like the rest of my family at basketball. So I'm like, let's watch a movie. And they're like, let's go to a basketball game. Right?
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of basketball, but Shep, he has the skills. He has the skills. Today we went to a bounce house. Like there was like a street fair. So I took him to the street fair and he was in a bounce house with a basket and a little ball. And we have a friend of ours who's like year and a half older than Shep and quite a bit bigger. And Shep was guarding him, like legitimately not touching him, but like you can't shoot. You can't shoot. And I was so proud. Little Muggsy Bogues. So proud. Because Shep is tiny, for people who don't know.
So you're
Anyway.
saying in 20 years from now, Space Jam 3, Shep will be in it, and we will have the Looney Tunes.
I was going to say Shep will be a Looney Tune, but he will be.
Tasmania.
The Tasmanian. Oh, man. Who's your favorite Looney Tune?
Yeah,
It's
mine
Bugs
is
Bunny. Come
too.
on, he's just the Batman. He's just the Batman of Looney Tunes. Iconic.
Apart from Bugs, though, I would say
Yeah.
Taz. I do like Taz a lot.
Taz good. I have a teddy bear of Taz somewhere.
Oh.
It's not, ladies. It's not in my room. It's in storage. Wink. It's probably in the corner somewhere.
Your dungeon?
Storage. His bed. He gets out of
Yeah.
I was partial to Sylvester when I was growing up, but now that I'm older, I realize it wasn't Sylvester. It was the gag between Sylvester and
Tweety.
who's the cat? Yeah, thank you. Sylvester and Tweety. Like their dynamic that I love. I don't know. Tweety's kind of an asshole, so I think I like him.
I think actually it's a good point because Scott was saying that he enjoyed this one more, and his kids couldn't finish the first one. I would say there's a lot of this movie is animated, and they actually stay in the serververse for the majority of the movie. So there's very little like real world, screen time compared to the original one. There was a lot of stuff in the real world with Bill Murray and the other actor. He was in loads of things, had glasses, a biggish guy, and all that kind of stuff. But this one he's as I said, LeBron James stays animated for a long time in this movie. So maybe that's the reason they did that, so kids will maybe cater to it even more.
When you say a long time, are you saying like, I'm assuming it has 3 acts just because most stories do.
Yeah.
Some don't. I know. Most do. Is this in like he's animated for the first 2 acts and then not animated for the third?
No, he's the star of the movie himself, of course, and then the plot kind of kicks off, and then he's animated, and then recruiting people and meeting different worlds and stuff like that. And then for the big basketball match, he's back then as himself, and he plays basketball.
Interesting.
And he plays basketball.
Yeah, well, like as himself, he's not animated when he's playing basketball. He's animated for other kind of gags and stuff like that, which I thought was really good.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because Michael Jordan was just himself.
That means he did voice work.
Yeah, he did voice work. That's why I was saying, was he busy playing basketball or training? That's why it was easier for him to do his voice instead of him actually being there on set, because he is animated for a good bit.
Oh yeah.
Because they were saying that he was on his off season, he was shooting, and then like he'd be in his basketball season as well, and he'd have to go and do some work there then as well. So maybe that's what was easier for him to be animated at times. Maybe that's why they did that.
Could be, yeah. Or I mean, like, it is just generally easier to keep things consistent if you are making them instead of trying to match up the real world to itself, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting. I seem to remember the original kind of having the same vibe as Who Killed Roger Rabbit? Real world setting, imaginary characters on a real world setting.
Pink Panther?
Yeah.
In the original Space Jam,
but Pink Panther also had that, right?
Yeah. Well, Michael Jordan was thrown into the Looney Tunes world, and he was himself, and everything else was animated, wasn't it?
Yes. Fascinating.
But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to what your kids think.
The real question is, or Michael Jordan as the goat. The goat.
Well, I don't watch basketball a lot, so I'll leave that up to people who are basketball fanatics.
Wait, you guys both not really
into football.
It's not big here.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott might say.
Watching who? I guess you know what? I am kind of more interested to see who does a better job on camera, like actually acting, since that's not a skill they've spent the last 30, 40 years of their life developing, either of them.
Yeah, I was a lot more heart in this one, I would say, because stuff with his son and his family. Vin Diesel type, with the kind of driven more by family.
God, he's a Toretto? That's the twist.
Yeah,
That's the twist.
Warner Brothers wish they owned Fast and Furious.
The Looney Torettos.
They would have ruined that one too.
Jesse is just anti Warner Brothers.
But we can now talk about good
Man.
studios. So moving on to Netflix, we have the Fear Street trilogy, and the latest of that trilogy, well, their Endgame just came out, and it's called 16. Yeah, it's called 1666, and that's look. Firstly, I'll say I really enjoyed this trilogy event, and I thought that was a pretty cool concept from Netflix from the get-go, and they pretty much nailed it. And every week it has been building hype, well, amongst at least those who have been watching, because they didn't market it as much before the releases started, and I don't know why, because they really had something on their hands here. It's not like, average or bad or something. It was really good for what it was, like a slasher.
What year? What year is this?
It's
What year is this
1666.
on set,
Maher.
Jesse?
I know Scott's probably busting
what?
my balls in the chat.
Listen, my only experience with this Fear Street trilogy is that they're one of my campers. I'm coaching a speech camp for high schoolers right now, and one of my campers told me, "Oh my gosh, I hate horror movies, but I love the Fear Street trilogy, and I think it's so great. And the twist in this one just got me." And I was like,
"Yep,
okay." It makes horror accessible for people that don't like horror. I think I'm down with it, but I don't know that I'm going to like it. Am I gonna like it?
I don't know what kind of horror movies you don't like, because this is not exactly horror, but it kind of also is, because there's a lot of jump scares and a lot of the music is very intense, and the slasher stuff is very scary at times. So I would say that
The music is intense.
that will definitely get you. Yeah.
Is it okay? Like soundtrack or like
No, the score.
Like music, like
Yeah.
Okay, the score.
That would definitely get you.
Like this has never been done before on a streaming service. Maybe Scott may correct me, but this is like a 3-week event, so each Friday a new film in this trilogy came out, which I thought was pretty cool. We've only really seen that with series. Maybe it's something that Netflix will do in the future as well, because these are based on books. I think there's a lot more stories to tell. So maybe next summer we get 3 new stories with the same cast and stuff like that.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Like almost like a mini series movie event, but they don't have to be interconnected, which is cool, because then you can film them simultaneously with different casts and different directors. Like that could be so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would be down with that.
But what's interesting, this one has the same director for all 3, and more or less the same cast, and they come in and out of the films, because it's different. 1666, 1978, 1994, and then it jumps around when it's trying to tell the story for like modern 1994, because it's going backwards. But I think that was cool, and the director shot this one second, Casey, I think, even though it's the last to come out.
What?
Like he shot this one is the last to come out. Be released.
Yes.
The trilogy is the third one. But he shot second.
I don't know about that. I haven't followed the shooting schedule and all of that, but
I'm telling you.
Cool.
Last week's one he shot.
Oh, so that's why the quality of that one is the best. Yeah.
But the kills were the best.
Okay, what I was gonna say was, did he shoot them like if I'm an actress, do I show up to set and I'm like, which one am I doing today?
Yes.
Or did he shoot them like complete?
It
First
makes
one, second
sense
one,
they
third
shot
one.
the first and third one together, because they have basically the same cast. The second movie,
Okay.
um, they they have the same characters, but they have different cast because of the age difference. So that's the reason I think the second one was shot last. But yeah, I think that's the best one so far. In terms of acting, writing, the slasher. Yeah,
The second
78.
one?
I think that's my favorite. And then it's 66.
You know why I love? Yeah, sorry, I just love it because I like slasher movies, and these movies kind of, as Scott said,
Yeah.
like they're like a homage to that. It's like just these weird
Yeah.
effed up characters who just want to kill, and then these teen kids are just getting brutally murdered. Some of them are having sex and they get killed and stuff like that. You know,
That's
that
the
goes back
first
to the
rule. The
yeah.
virgin survives,
Well,
yo.
about that.
Actually, yeah,
That is
fair enough.
true. Movie rule. They talk about it in
Yeah.
Scream. Just
Yeah.
ask Wes Anderson. Anyway.
And they did a cool thing for the first one, 1994, where it starts off this pretty well known actress, and you're thinking, oh yeah, she's well known. I know her from loads of things. She's going to be the star of this trilogy. And instead, she's killed in the first few minutes, like Drew Barrymore. I'm like, yes, that's how you do
Yes.
it.
I'm not gonna lie, that
That's
made me so
literally how
upset
they
during that scene. Because I really liked Maya Hawke, and I was like, oh, I'm
Oh,
going to be seeing Maya
going
Hawke
against
for the next three movies. But no, that was just
Yes, he's like, I don't even care what she's. Yes, he's like, I
yeah.
don't even care what she's going to say. I just want to
Yeah.
look at her for three movies. And then she, what? They killed her. What?
But the
so
Oh,
then
sorry.
Najeed stopped watching and just watched the first
no,
5
but
minutes.
I like the
Repeat.
fact
Yeah.
that they didn't they gave me something better because they didn't shy away from showing any of the horror or the killings or anything. They basically just that's in your face. The camera never moves. That's
Oh,
yes. It's
Really?
amazing.
there's what right in the second one. I haven't seen 1666 yet. Casey has, but I've seen the first two. And in the second one, there's a character who's getting axed right in the chest brutally 6 or 7 times, and we get to see it.
Yes.
I'm like really uncomfortable looking at this, and the character is not even dead
Yeah.
yet, and they're getting smashed in the chest with an axe. I'm like,
Oh, that's
wow, that's
brutal. Brutal. Listen, I like brutality and not
Yeah.
in like my real life, but in
Yeah.
film. Great. It's fun. I think I might I'm so shocked that it has that level of brutality in it, or that it's like so in your face about it, because to hear from someone who's like, I don't watch scary movies, it terrifies me, that she like learned to like horror because of this. That's kind of cool. I read the Fear Street
Oh,
books.
so you know
Okay,
the
I read
twist.
like every else. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I know like
Don't say it. Sean hasn't watched it yet.
the. I don't even know
Okay,
if I
cool.
remember the twist. Is what I'm saying. I remember the like vibe. I would just devour multiple R.L. Stein books in a day. And Fear Street was like what I started reading, probably I was like 6th or
Oh
7th
wow.
grade. It was like next step up
Yeah.
above Goosebumps. Goosebumps was like 3rd.
oh,
Yeah.
goosebumps. Yeah,
Fear Street was like 6th,
Yep.
7th. Mm.
And they definitely show it all.
So
Like that got me really shocked as well because like I'm watching this on Netflix, right? And it's this 3-day event and
that's
it
the
has
rating.
to be it has to be at least R. At
yeah.
least. Because I'm not exaggerating, Amanda. Like they literally show everything. Yeah.
Oh,
In the first movie, near the end, there was one scene where somebody's head just gets absolutely massacred. Wow, this is just this is my
is it
stuff.
better or worse? And but when I say better or worse, I mean, does it make me feel like, oh God, I did not need to see
No,
that
I
today, more or less than the couple falling off the swing?
w-
Oh
well,
yeah,
it's
those
much worse. I'll say that.
have-
But but that will
Worse?
make you like it more because I think okay, so the it's weird to describe it, but the tone is not as serious as like Don't Breathe or A Quiet Place. So it's kind of done in a fun way, kind of over the top,
Yeah.
like Gunpowder Milkshake in a way, but they still have something serious in that.
Have you guys seen the original
Yes.
Scream
Yeah.
movies? Okay.
Yeah.
I love.
It's kind of like that.
I can't wait for 5.
Yep.
So good, right? So like I remember watching Scream. I don't think I watched it in theaters, but I remember watching it at home like as soon as it came out and just being like, that is one of the best movies that's
Yeah.
ever been made.
And you're like on the edge of your seat. And you feel like
Yes,
you
but
feel
it's
like you're
also hilarious. Like it feels
Yeah.
fun and lighthearted, and then all of a sudden, it's not.
All that is here.
Is okay. I was gonna say,
Yep.
does it have that same? Yes. Okay. Okay.
I don't know if it has the exact same thing, but it definitely has, like, you can definitely see that's what they got the idea from. That's what
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to do. I just think the score and Scream and like even the jump scares, like bumping into
Yeah.
someone in the high school hallway, like that just gets you, and it's just
Some of
done
them
so
are really
well.
like over the top,
You know,
kind of. They know what they're doing. Like they are trying to be cheesy, so it doesn't make it bad, you know? So because they know they are that. And that's why you
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they don't even break their
Also, the
reality.
subject matter, like it's high school. Now, I will say this: are the actors actually
Yes.
like high school age, or is this another
They're
high
younger.
schoolers
They're younger.
played
no,
by?
they're not. They're not. They're not. The girl, the girl who's she bisexual, lesbian. I think is the first one. She's
Oh,
she's
really?
like 29, Casey.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize. I thought she
Yeah.
was 16.
No, she's like no,
Oh,
no.
wow.
They're
I
all
didn't
older.
realize that.
Well, not the second. The second one, they're okay.
I guess I would rather have that. I love Stranger Things. Okay, I love it, but I do feel a little weird about like, please psychologically torture these children to get the shot. Like, so I'm okay if they're
Yeah.
grown. I'm wondering what I'm getting
But
myself into
it's
here.
Stranger Things doesn't go that
yeah.
violent. But this does.
No. That's
The I was like the basic, like it's in this town, Sunnyside, or the Shadyside. Which one is the
Shadyside,
cast for Shadyside? Is it? I can't remember. But like, there's this basically in this town, like there's this witch kind of cast like a curse on this town, and every so often there's like a serial killer or something happens like that. Like they play into it in the movie. So like 1666 KC
Yes.
is kind of the origin of this witch. Is it? Can you tell us maybe the background
I'll
of
try.
what this film is about?
without giving away anything.
Don't spoil it.
Well, the story
Oh,
is set in 1666, not 1966.
what the
But-
hell?
Oh,
Spoilers!
But it
Okay.
basically has the same cast as the first one, and they are playing the younger versions of the witch and that time period, the characters from that time period. But randomly, the cast from the first one are some of the characters in the third one. It's like kind of like reincarnation. I didn't get that choice, but maybe there's more to that. But
Maybe that's
Yeah,
the curse on the
yeah.
town. You're stuck here. It's like Groundhog's
It's kinda-
Day. You're stuck in this town.
it's kind of like the same cast from the first movie, but they're playing different characters in 1666.
Yes.
That I guess
But a couple of them are
Yeah.
well, the main one, the one from the first movie, is playing the witch Seraphir, and
but she doesn't look like that to the town people. She looks
yes,
like a different person.
yes.
Only we see her
Yeah.
as the girl from the first movie.
So there's that, and then obviously her.
Oh, Amanda, say if you were in the first movie and you look like yourself, and then in the 3rd
You're
movie,
also playing Seraphir.
we as an audience can see you, but you look like me. You know, that kind of way.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
so that's basically where it starts, and then it's basically about how the witch got hung by the town people and what she did.
Or drown.
Yeah.
They like to do that a lot. They like to put women inside cage. Mostly women who like
Amanda,
just,
you
I don't know,
love the
like
third
gave
movie.
people remedies, natural products. that. I'm
Okay,
just
see, Scott has it right.
Yes,
We
ancestors,
can't,
right?
our
That's right.
English is bad.
Ancestors played by the same cast. Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
but that's cool though, because then that kind of does support the idea that the town is like cursed and there's the curse is reincarnated for every
Yes.
generation, which would like kind of make sense why there's some continuity in like the characters, right? Like there's always a town drunk,
Yes.
1666, 1978, 1994, always a town drunk.
And this
So-
town is very isolated from everyone else, and they're basically like a community, so everyone knows everyone else. And obviously, being from that time period, there are some religious aspects and superstition going on. Yeah, and then the
yeah. And a witch
Exactly.
who is hunted down by the whole
and then there's the main character who also has a love interest with her, girlfriend from the first movie. So that's obviously going to be a problem in this town and in this time period. So the plot kind of revolves around that. And there's also horror because there are. I don't want to spoil that without, Okay, this is a very long movie
I wanna
and
ask,
it doesn't
so,
stay in that town. I'll just say that.
Okay, so the first one, like the first two had slasher moments, like camp and stuff like that. I love the second one because it's in a summer camp and all these kids just get. There's never any adults around for any of these movies when they're getting killed. Right? And does it still have the slasher kind of vibes for the third one?
When I'm saying it's Fear Street Endgame, I'm not kidding.
Okay. That's enough, Casey. That's
I
enough
loved
now.
it.
Did you like it though?
And as a trilogy as a whole, I loved it as well.
And do you think this is good enough for Netflix to continue this for 2022?
Just keep going.
It comes out. 2022, never.
Here's my question. Do you want Fear Street again, or do you want the same like structure but different story material?
Both. But first Fear Street, more of Fear Street would be more of Fear Street would be awesome.
Okay. Dude, I think it's awesome that they are like, okay, I coach high schoolers and I coach college kids, and I will say this. They don't read and they don't watch movies or TV shows. They watch YouTube and TikTok. And when I say that they don't watch movies or TV shows, I mean, I showed my camp the picture from Cannes that had Wes Anderson and Tilda Swinton and Bill Murray and Timothée Chalamet, and only one of them knew two of the people in that picture. And she knew that it was Timothée Chalamet and Bill Murray. And I was like, I don't really expect anybody to know Wes Anderson. I had to like double check to make sure that was him. But you guys need to get out more. Like, you guys need to experience things that are not made by a content creator. You need to experience literature in the form of movies, TV, and books.
Scott would agree with you.
So what I'm excited about, right? I'm excited that like the idea that Fear Street can hook in a generation of people, like can get them invested in something that started out as a book. Read the book. I don't know if Scott agrees, but I would imagine as a teacher he sees the same thing.
I would admit I probably don't read enough as well. And like I'm 24, I should be reading. I'm starting to read more comic books and stuff. But I love is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I love Quentin Tarantino. And I've watched that film I so many times. Blu-ray just came, and what I did, I love the movie so much. Quentin Tarantino wrote a book, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the novel. I think it's in my mom's house, but I got it straight away, and I've read it once already. I'm reading it again. So he made me. I love a film he made. He made me want to read a book about these characters and expand.
Yeah,
that's kind of vice versa in a way, like instead of watching Fear Street or you read the books of Fear Street first, you might want to watch the movies now. I watched the movie and I want to read the book. That's how much I love it. So I think that's pretty cool.
And also like the you don't just like it because of. Sorry, Steven is messing with the water, and he doesn't realize that I can hear it very loudly in here. But anyway, um, he's literally turning on the garden hose. um, so it's interesting because like you don't like you didn't say you liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because of the actors or the hype around it. You like something about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that is like thematically consistent. Like, is it filmmaking? Is it the storyline? Is it the way that they tell the story? Is it the themes in general?
Like, so yeah, as you said, like, it doesn't matter who's in this movie. I would have watched it because Tarantino was making it, so it doesn't. The actors probably didn't matter that much, but I just love the movie because I think it's a cool movie. It's just cool.
Yeah.
I walk out. I've seen it 7 times in the cinema, and I just walk out thinking I'm the bee's knees. The soundtrack is still going in my head. Brad Pitt's style, his shirt, and just the way his hair is. I just walk down the street pretending I'm Brad Pitt. I'm like a cool character from the 1960s, and I just felt cool watching it. And every time I watch it, I feel cool. It's just a cool movie, and I just love that. And Rick Dalton's just kind of, he's going through this kind of. He used to be a great actor in these big projects. Now he finds himself, I'm a has-been, stuff like that. Like, we've all been through that. Am I good enough anymore? And then he kind of has his redemption arc at the end of the movie where people do appreciate him when he never thought it. Stuff like that. It's just cool.
And like the like chase your dreams, but recognize there's a cost, and you have to like constantly reevaluate if what you're doing is going to get you to your dream and if it's still worth the cost, or maybe your dream has changed, or I don't know. I read an interview with Pigman, Nick Cage, today, and he said
from Superman to Pigman.
I'm not interested in, I know, right? I'm not interested in being a part of Hollywood anymore. It feels like a really small town to me, and I can imagine it would be exhausting after a while. He said, like, when I was making the Jerry Bruckheimer movies, it was just like back to back to back to back. And I was so busy, and it was so huge. I loved it, but there was like, I felt so much pressure not to mess it up because it was a big budget, big studio thing, right? But he said with independent film, he just feels like there's more breathing room. There's more space for him to like experiment with his performance and be an actor instead of having to like be a celebrity. And I can respect that. Maybe he also watches Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to help come to that.
I know we're going.
I love that. Makes you feel cool.
Yeah, I just feel cool. I've watched it every night since I've got it. I've got it 2 weeks now, or maybe a week, 10 days. I've watched it every single night, been in the background every single night. Just love it. But also, because Tarantino said himself, I know we're on a mad tangent here, but it's pretty cool. We're talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I don't care. He says that it made people. Yeah, you ain't gonna stop me. I talk about Sharon Tate and people's perception of her. Now, I only knew Sharon Tate from some actress that was killed by the Manson family. And then I see Sharon Tate pick up like a hitchhiker or a hippie, or whatever you want to call it back then, and she's just having a chat, and they're just being so nice to her. And then it makes you think, how can I be nicer to people I meet every day? Can I be a nice person? And Sharon Tate was just in that movie so nice, and she's just dancing around at the Playboy Mansion having fun. So that's the way to live your life. Be Sharon Tate, be kind, be nice, and have fun.
Yeah, and then die horribly while you're.
Well, not in this movie. Not in this movie.
I as a true crime weirdo, I know like way too much about the Tate murders. Anyway, it is, I think, partly nostalgic, like oh, if I were an actor in Hollywood, right, I would watch it and I'd be like, oh, the good old days, right? But it's also because it's nostalgic about then, it also kind of like points a finger at today. And it's like, remember when we used to do this? Remember when celebrities used to pick up hitchhikers and like dance with them in the park and shit and be free and like and pursuing it? And now we're just like a pedophile ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it's but like my tweet today, I was hiking and what was I listening to?
Music.
That's
Was
not.
it soundtrack?
I actually have the soundtrack as well, but actually today I switched over to '60s soundtrack. Yeah, I do have the soundtrack. I have it on my Spotify. But that's no coincidence. I love that music and I appreciate that music because of the movie. And yeah, so
dude, that's awesome. I just introduced Najeed was like, "What is this genre of this song?" And I was like, "Big band." And he was like, "Yeah."
I've been listening to that playlist since yesterday.
What? Why did that? Like, what? Why did that come in your head? Why were you?
Well, I usually, I have these 3 or 4 songs from that time that I really like, and then I put on playlists on YouTube from the listening to the 60s music or 40s music sometimes, and a lot of them are not good. Because they put just random music up there, but Spotify playlists are curated by people who love this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's actually like the golden thing for me because every song is good. So
because you're getting it directly from someone who has fucking taste.
Exactly. Not just random people just, what are the top 20 60s tracks and then just putting them, in front of each other. That was weird.
But it's so crazy. It's so crazy though, because like people today, unless it's Billie Eilish or it's whatever's popular these days, music doesn't exist unless they're doing it. Or somebody said it today as well that every casting for a comic book movie or any movie is a comic book movie director, like Zack Snyder or Christopher Nolan or Henry Cavill or it's Margot Robbie, because those are the popular modern day ones. But like,
do you remember a few years ago though when every single fucking lead role was played by Scarlett Johansson and Jennifer Lawrence? Like, remember, like I feel like we go through these cycles where people are really marketable and they book a lot of work all at once, and then their projects get done, and America's just like, or not just America, the whole fucking world is like, I'm too done with this. I got
turned off Jennifer Lawrence. Not, because I just seen her in everything. I was like, I've seen you.
It's like it's like past the point of saturation. And what's weird is that, like, I don't know, maybe we're hitting on a theme here that like the youths are not even aware of art that predates them. It's like they think that because people were racist in the 1960s, that anything made in the 1960s is bad. And I'm like, no. No. I don't think you could really call John Lennon racist. I will fight you. I don't know. Like, it also, like, you can still appreciate I will say this now. If you don't have a deep repertoire of music from older eras, you will not appreciate some of the things that artists are doing in music today, because the artists who are making music are referencing things. Like fucking Dua Lipa has like 18 million. What is she? Doesn't she even have like, somebody has a fucking track from I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt in a top 10 song from the last year. And I was just like, I think it's Doja Cat. We're literally ripping I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt into this song, and no one is talking about it because all the people that are listening to it don't even know that it exists, that exists before. Like,
I'm someone.
I sound like my fucking parents. I
realize
I sound like a fucking boomer right now. But damn it, I am a fucking parent. When did this happen?
Some of my favorite artists are like people you don't know what the fuck what's going on with themselves because Nicolas Cage, like, what's he doing? A movie with a pig? Shia LaBeouf, he was in, right. So Indiana Jones 5 is filming. Harrison Ford injures his shoulder. Where's Shia LaBeouf? He's in Disneyland. It's just like it's the most funniest thing ever. It's brilliant. I just love it. And Bill Murray, see him there dressed like the way he was dressed at Cannes, just stuff like that. Those guys are artists. Those guys know what's going on. Maybe if they don't, they look like they're just living life.
It looks like they are not. They're not getting engaged or like hooked into the, like, I don't know, some art just outlasts human dumbness. Like, that's what DC is based on. Like, that's why DC is so lasting, so relevant to so many different people from different cultures, because it actually draws from the ancient lore of many different cultures. It's just retelling them in a modern way. And if you don't know what that lore is, that doesn't mean you won't like the story. It just means it doesn't have the depth, the richness. It can have more depth if you expose yourself to like what inspired those people. So like with you, Sean, you're listening to the music that would have been around and inspiring the people portrayed in the movie. You're listening to what Sharon Tate would have listened to when she picked up that person hitchhiking.
Crazy. And also kind of doesn't depress me, but it makes me kind of reevaluate what I'm doing with myself, because people expect us, the three of us, to be on Twitter every day to talk about DC or to talk about movies. And like, what happens when we do something that nobody expects as well? Like, I want to do that more. And I think we get kind of in the routine. Oh, I have to get up for work. I have to go do this with our own environment. Oh, I'm on Twitter. I'm bitching about Warner Brothers and talking about Zack Snyder movies I love. People expect that from me. I want to do something that nobody expects. What's he doing? Where is he? That's the kind of shit I want to do. But
I want to see you do drag.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I know you will. We're gonna do it when we're in LA. I'll dress up as a drag king. I'll take my boots down, and you just let it flow, baby.
Speaking of books,
that should be a good story to tell Mom about.
Speaking of books, thank you for that lovely segue.
I don't know what that was.
You don't know because you haven't paid attention to the movie, Sean. Gunpowder Milkshake.
What movie?
Firstly, before Amanda goes off about it, firstly, let me just say, I really love this movie, and I just, this type of movie is my thing. I like when movies are not what you expect, right? It's aesthetically pleasing. The colors are great. The cinematography is great, and it has this comic book, graphic novel, Sin City or John Wick or Sucker Punch type of vibe, which I really liked. Some of the action shots and stuff are over the top, but that was on purpose, and I really liked that, because the whole time, even when there's jokes or some funny stuff, Karen Gillan was just straight faced the entire time. She was brilliant. Beautiful. And I really liked her performance.
I want to see that take so bad.
Like, I love when things are, that it's supposed to be funny or it's supposed to be over the top, but they are taking it seriously. So they are, in fact, respecting the viewer, that they're basically saying that, yes, we know this is this, but since you are taking your time to watch this, I'll respect your time. And they take that stuff, in a serious way. They don't make fun of you watching the movie. So the whole time they take, everything like that. There's a library. They're talking about books, but it's not really books. They're talking about reading, but it's not really reading. So stuff like that is pretty cool, and I really liked how the story progressed, and the little girl was also really, really good. And there's stuff in this like after learning driving for the first time, right within like 15-20 seconds, she's driving insanely. but that works in this movie because it's so awesome. Like I was really surprised by this movie, and then I really enjoyed it by the end. I was really hoping the entire time they don't fuck up the third act because I was loving it so far, and then that's really crucial, right? But they didn't, and the ending also was awesome.
Dude, that wow, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna
No,
shut
go
up because
ahead.
we
I'm
should
done.
go more before I
I know I will,
sure.
say more stuff as you bring it up, but yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Such good stuff about this movie. Okay, like I tweeted something the other day that said Gunpowder Milkshake is better than 80% of all action movies. And that's a low estimate. Like I think I could
Yeah.
confidently say better than 90,
And I don't
but
like action movies
I
because I don't like just guns blazing, mindless action. I don't like it unless the story is good.
yeah, exactly. And that's why
Yep.
it's better than 90% action movies because this is a
Yeah.
really great story that happens to be about people
Yeah.
who use violence in their life. Which I'm like a script nerd, so I don't mind like I don't mind plot holes so much. Interestingly,
Yeah.
but it has to be justified. Like I coach my students all the time. You can make whatever choice you want with the interpretation of the script, but you have to
Yeah.
justify it to me. So you have to have an actual intentional reasoning behind it and not just, oh, because this is funny. So what was cool was that even though the humor can get really campy at times, there's a reason why it's campy. Kind of like how in Sucker Punch, the wise man who is why can't I remember his name?
Uh.
He's the only dude in the movie.
Yeah.
So the only dude in the movie who's decent. That character is written so that like he comes in, says, okay, this is the battle you're about to walk into. This is what your enemy has. This is how you need, like, this is the objective you have to complete. And then he says something stupid like, don't forget to wash your hands after you poop. Like something that's totally useless to what they're about to walk into. And they all just look at him like.
But it's said in a very
Okay.
serious way. Even the joke.
Oh, 100% serious. He's like this is like he's like, hey, if I never see you again, please
Yeah.
wash your hands before you poop, guys.
Okay.
And they're like, we're gonna go kill the Nazi zombies now. So but there are people who like don't understand why they think that that's like unnecessary and stupid, and they don't get the role that it serves in the story. And that's always really frustrating to me because nothing is an accident in art. There's not ever a brushstroke, a word, a inflection, a whatever that is chosen for no reason. So for people to dismiss anything in a film or a story or whatever as like, oh, well, that just happens for no reason. You just don't understand the reason, dude. It doesn't happen for no reason. You just haven't thought about what that reason could be. So all that being said, there's so much in this, in Gunpowder Milkshake that is, there are a lot of winks at feminist philosophy.
I also saw some people
There's a
complaining
lot-
about there being like this movie being anti-men or something, but I didn't feel that way. Like, yeah.
And you're a man.
I mean, I heard about that before watching the movie, and so that was in my mind while watching, and I didn't feel that way.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever heard anyone say about a male action movie where they kill women in the male action movie? Have you ever heard anyone say that that was
No.
misogynistic?
And look, the difference I think,
Yeah.
the difference I think is when some filmmaker is, look, I get that most of the dead people in this or the bad guys were men, sure, but that's not them saying that men are bad and they're supposed to be killed. That's not what they were saying, and neither were they in the in their team. They weren't saying that. And yes, there were some subtle messaging there about the firm, that was established and all that. Yes, but that's not to every man. That's to the people
No,
who actually
exactly,
do that stuff.
exactly.
So
This is like the same. The person who makes that argument is the same person who says that Wolf of Wall Street glorifies drug use, prostitution,
no,
and like embezzlement. And I'm like, it
it
doesn't
just
fucking
shows you.
glorify that. You just can't
Yeah.
read art. Like
I think
I
I
don't know
think
how to tell you this.
it needs to be justified in a way because at the end of going back to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt
We're
brutally
way past
murders
that
that
topic,
woman,
Sean.
bashes her head in. No, but there it's
Yeah.
justified. We know what they were going to do, so therefore Brad Pitt killing that woman brutally, we're all behind it. In this
Yeah.
movie, the bad guys just happen to be men. They're bad guys.
And the
We
movie
want
was
them
made
dead.
by a man.
Yeah.
Justified.
They're not bad guys because they're men, and they're not. Here's the thing. That's what's funny about it. There's like maybe one time in this movie where the men make an accommodation
Yeah.
for the women in the movie, like meaning they treat them differently than they would treat a man because they're women. There's one time, maybe you could argue. The rest of the time, they don't talk about the fact that they're women.
Yep.
They don't say, "Oh, that pussy's
Yeah.
gonna not take me down." They don't
Yeah.
use derogatory terms like about women. It's not the women
Yeah.
don't make it about the fact that they're men, and the men don't make it about the fact that they're women. They are professionals, and they are on opposite sides of the war that's going on. That's all.
Yeah.
Like, that's all. And they haven't even always been that. Like, here's the thing: some of the people that end up being on the wrong side of Karen Gillan is
And you don't want to be on that side.
No, well,
It depends what's going on.
it
She doesn't even
people
need her
who-
hands.
The people who are
Too far.
touching her are
Why do you always take it too
people who
far?
are friends of hers.
Yeah.
They are actually friends, not like, oh, we were friends. They are like friends and coworkers and colleagues, and they've like worked together before. So it's not some like, oh, we got to
Yeah.
take her out because she's a woman.
And vice versa.
Yeah, and so that's why I don't know. I think honestly, it's kind of like Sucker Punch in that if I use it as a litmus test. If you are saying that this movie is anti-feminist because it's not directed by a woman, or because, or if you say that it's like, why can't I think of the word? Misandrist, which would be
Opposite of,
the
yeah.
hatred of men instead of misogyny, which is the hatred of women. If you try to tell me that this movie has any sort of misogyny or misandry in it, I'm going to
you're
tell
wrong.
you that you missed the point. The point, it's almost like a trap, just like Sucker Punch. It's almost like they are goading people into a trap to spew off their ignorant fucking bullshit and expose themselves as the fucking idiots that they are. I am here to tell you that women are not treated equally in this world. Yeah, I 100% agree with you there, my friends. But also, this movie does not perpetuate the oppression of women.
Yep.
Period. If anything, it honors and glorifies and celebrates what makes women
They can't
women.
even try to do that with the cast members here. Like Karen Gillan, Lena Headey, Carla Gugino.
Carla being I'll just disrespect gender. Like what?
Even the little girl
doesn't
who was 8 years and 3/4.
Sorry.
If you go to John Wick, it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female that killed the dog. We're fully behind John Wick to kill the person who killed the dog.
Yes.
So it doesn't. It as long as it's justified and it's done in a way that's not disrespectful.
I think here's the thing. Here's why I think it pisses people off so much, and they feel like they have to like pick a side about like it's misogynist or it's misandrous. It pisses people off because what they are elevating as the ideal is female solidarity.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to learn from the movie is women, when they work together, can fucking do anything.
They can read books.
And that's yes.
I wish this action was put into
Dude,
Birds of Prey.
I'm not even gonna go there because I know if I say that, people will just hate on me. But yeah,
this action. Oh my god, I haven't had so much fun.
There was
watching
so
action,
much slow
but
motion
at the
in
same,
here.
not a joke.
Yes.
It's,
The final act, the entire last scene.
oh
Yes.
my god,
Yes. It's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
beautifully shot too. Like it's almost like it has. I'm not saying that it's the same, okay, because I also love Zack Snyder's Justice League, but it has that like fuck yeah moment where the Flash
Yes.
starts to run against time and put
Yeah.
the world back together. And it has like that slow pan that gives it this really epic feel. It's so cool. Aesthetically, that's one thing that I'm like so shocked that people aren't talking about more, because it really kind of reminded me of like a mix between like Drive
Yes.
and Bop.
Drive
Birds of
was
Prey?
awesome. Yeah.
Um,
But Drive was very,
Drive was
very
beautiful.
slow paced
Yes.
compared to this movie. This is very much mixed. Like it was quick
This-
as well as it took its time when there was dialogue between I forgot the characters' names, but Karen Gillan and Lena Headey's characters when they were talking about when they met for the first time after so many years. So that was also pretty good. Well, I'm kind of biased,
Scarlet.
but Lena Headey is awesome, and I loved her as Cersei. So I was just obviously going to like her in this movie, but she also was so badass. Like my favorite shot of her in this movie is in the final scene when she loads her shotgun. That was just amazing. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yes. Also, it's so cool to see her like a little bit more. I do like watching Lena Headey act. And I have been worried that following Game of Thrones that she would get sort of typecast in the same way that like Cate Blanchett has kind of gotten typecast, where she has to be like fucking Galadriel in every fucking movie, no hate on Galadriel, you look good, bitch, but like you don't need to be. I don't need Galadriel for like every role, every movie, right? So but this was really cool because yes, she's badass and yes, she's cool, but she's also like really relaxed and like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Like not everything had so much gravitas, right? And like even when the mom and the daughter meet again, when Lena Headey and Karen Gillan meet again, literally in the first 60 seconds of the movie, you're welcome. She doesn't have a good answer. She just has a real answer.
And I like the reasoning, like disappearing for 15 years without telling your daughter and then just coming back and she accepting that it gets almost impossible, right? But they did it well and it felt organic. Even by the end it felt really organic. I just I said earlier, I just wish they had a milkshake moment again just to bring it full circle. But
yeah, I was expecting it because they set it up to like make you think that was going to happen, and then it didn't, and I was like, well, maybe they filmed it and it felt too on the nose, so they cut it, but like they still kept the reference was still there. That was one thing that I thought was really cool, was to see it all like the elements of the story were built into a really pretty structure. Like they tied together. I'm not saying that it was a circle, but I'm saying like it was like maybe a chiasm, like where it's also at the beginning and once in the end, but it completes.
Sean, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a scene like that as
well.
Now
that we are done.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a scene like that as well with the milkshake, because in the title as well, so maybe that's why they didn't do an extra scene at the end.
Yeah, maybe.
Gunpowder Milkshake. So that was our milkshake reference in the movie. But yeah, I think Netflix actually has done a good job at elevating the young actors that they have. So Freya Allen was young Sam in this series in the Witcher
that was
series.
her. That's where I remember her from. Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
Oh my gosh! Thank you.
Yeah.
For pointing. She was great. She and like that was not a small role in the movie. If that child, if whoever was cast in that role had dropped the ball, the movie would not work. It would fall apart entirely. Yeah. So there was a lot of heavy lifting on that kid's part, especially because people don't really like you were saying, Karen Gillan, every line is deadpan. Every line is just dry as hell. And it's really funny. But when you are the dead dry pan character, the other character in the scene has to bring some more something, or it's just all flat. And to put that burden on a kid who's 8 3/4 is that's a big ask. I would be freaking intimidated if I was a kid, but she did so well. I loved
everything.
I just loved it. I loved it. The things that I didn't like were like not big enough to not like the movie. You know what I mean? Like maybe I would have liked to have seen more of the backstory between like Lena Headey and Carla and who else is in this?
I think they might explore that in the sequel.
Michelle Yeoh.
But that's the thing. If they add that in, then like I kind of like that we don't know what happened. We just know how their relationship dynamic has been left. And like, I don't really need to know all the stuff that happened before. I do wonder if her mom and Anna May were like...
I thought that too, but also I think the filmmakers did a brilliant job at establishing the world. Like you said, everything it wasn't fully explored, but we kind of got the gist of it, and we wanted to see more of it, right? So that's great world building there. And also everything had a term or name, like the firm, there was the diner, there was the there's certain areas that kind of give you that graphic novel feel, how they have everything termed. So I loved that.
And also like the settings were really cool. Like we're talking about a bowling alley, an abandoned mall, a diner out on the cliffs somewhere in the middle of freaking nowhere, a house in the middle of nowhere. It was all like great, I thought, in terms of like helping me understand what they were referencing in terms of like, this should be the ideal and this is what we're criticizing. It's also like, I'm not gonna say that the movie is like anti-capitalist because they're all mercenaries. But it does say that like the ruthlessness of business like actually does hurt people, which is cool. I like that they kind of have that message subtly in through the thing throughout the movie. I don't know. Aesthetically, I can't get over it. The neon stuff is perfect. The whole, she's wearing the bowling tournament champion jacket. It's just, again, makes me feel like the reference to Drive and the reference to Birds of Prey. Like it has this really cool look to it. So I don't know. I don't know why anyone would like look at it and go, well, that's crap. On any angle. Cinematography, like the visuals are cool, the storyline's so great, the moral of the story's cool. I feel like if you don't like this movie, it's because you secretly hate strong women. Just gonna say
it. I think that the like this John Wick, Atomic Blonde.
You know what? I haven't
even
seen
Nobody
Atomic
that came out
Blonde
a
yet.
few months ago, Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, it's the same team that's involved with John Wick, but those types of movies for me in the last few years have made me kind of really look at action movies, and I prefer the kind of one-shot action sequences where the camera doesn't cut here and there, where you know it's the actor and stuff like that. I think that's just it elevates the action way more to know that it's Keanu Reeves or it's Charlize Theron that's actually doing the action sequences, or Bob Odenkirk. And the same with Karen Gillan here, even the bowling alley scene, it's one shot
The
for a good
hospital
majority
scene was
of it.
brilliant
Camera just
and so
pans
unique.
across. Yeah, that was awesome as
yes.
well. And then you have the lightning, the color shots are just amazing in the background. Really, just makes the character stand out. I think Paul Giamatti was really just a nice character to have thrown in there. He's just a solid actor. Really, just
A great
every scene he's in.
Great archetype.
Yeah, he's just a solid choice. The cast is all brilliant in this as well. So, but like for a movie like this, you can see the potential of future kind of sequels to, which I think we'll probably have, hopefully. And the movie kind of reminds me a bit like Karen Gillan's a very kind of cool character, just kind of very composed in every single scene and her dialogue. I also thought maybe the comedy in it was very dry, but it was very similar to Fargo, the 3 or 4 seasons of Fargo or the movie Fargo.
Yes.
Just how they're talking about irrelevant things in such a risky situation or something like that. Just talking about something that doesn't make sense, but it's funny and it adds to it. Like even in the library,
Yes,
talking
dialogue.
about
That's what people really do. Like, I hate this.
Yeah.
That's what people actually do. Like, people talk about the weather when they don't want to talk about the fact that they've just been ordered to kill each other.
Yeah.
That's actually, I don't
like with the end of John Wick 3 with Keanu Reeves, John Wick, I'm forgetting the character's name now, but he's like, I've always been a fan. This is amazing for me. I've always been a fan. When he's about to fight John Wick, and he knows he's probably going to die, he's like, I'm such a fan. This is just brilliant. And it adds to it's funny.
The elevator scene in this movie also is one of the funniest ones, with when Karen Gillan just her gun slips out from her hand. Lena Headey and the girl look at each other and just just kind of laugh. That was hilarious.
I love how she's like slowly, and then the girl's like, mm-mm. So good. I will say this about I said this to Najeed the other day. I would have died to be that stunt coordinator or that stunt supervisor who got that prompt for the week. Choreograph a sequence in a bowling alley with the balls as weapons or whatever you find in a bowling alley as a weapon. Like, I would have been like a pig in shit. I just would have been so happy. So I like seeing, not only do I like seeing the long action sequence, and the stars actually doing the action themselves, but I love to think about the stunt people who are having their best day at work.
The stunts were great in this.
Like, this is gonna some stunt coordinator is gonna this is in their reel now, them doing that in a mock-up is it's great.
We hear stories about the John Wick crew coming into Birds of Prey to last minute do the action there, or Patty Jenkins when I think it was her that said when she went to Marvel, they said to her, maybe it wasn't her, but someone said to one of the directors, "Don't worry about the action," or a different director, "Don't worry about the action. We'll sort that out for you." Stuff like that. Like this guy right here, I'm not even going to pronounce his name. I'll probably butcher it, but the director of this film, he hasn't directed in a few years. but like his direction for the acting in this film, or for the his direction for the fight sequences in this movie were just brilliant, really good. I'm like if you're making a comic book movie and you know that people want to watch awesome
Yes.
comic book movie action, you get somebody that can actually direct it in a way and just need help from other people. And this guy did a film a few years ago. I think it was called Big Bad Wolves, 2013 or 2012. And Quentin Tarantino said it was one of the
Oh,
best films of the year. This director, I want to see him do more things. I want to see him just
yeah.
do more things because he seems to be really good. And he just his choices when directing, not just the action or not just the awesome dialogue, but the simple things like drinking a
Yeah.
milkshake. Those things really add to it, I think.
I just want to
Yeah.
watch the
I wanna,
world
I'm
continue,
a fan of this
man.
guy
Like
now.
they can just bring in another director,
Yes.
maybe but just keep it consistent. And
No,
yeah, me
I want
too.
the same team. I want everybody to be the same. I want Carla to show up, even though um, she's living in a different part of the world, right? She's the Brian is watching the kids. But I want all of it. I want all of them, and I want
Yeah.
to see it again 50 times. I think it. I mean, obviously they've set it up for future stuff because they have an apprentice now.
Yeah.
There's a young kid. So there's fresh blood, right? But
Three
also,
generations.
yeah, yes. But it's
Scott says it's very neo noir.
yeah. I was just gonna say that's such a great way. What a great descriptor, because even though I've been saying like, oh, it references this, um, even though it references those things, it's not
Yeah.
a mimicry, like it doesn't copy. So it really does feel like its own thing, its own fresh thing. If you like Birds of Prey, if you like Drive, but not because it's slow and dry,
Yeah.
because it looks fucking cool. If you like the
John
like
Wick, Sucker Punch.
mildly cheesy,
Some of even
any of
Scott
these,
Pilgrim,
you'll
I
also
think.
like this. But it's not, yes, what is it? Or like Adventureland or something like that. Like a Pineapple Express.
See, there are so many movies we're naming because it really isn't like any of those. It's really its own
No.
thing.
And that's why I think I would say like, oh, it's not like those movies, but if
Yeah.
you like those movies, odds are you will find the things that you liked about those, you'll see them like come to life again in this. But I thought it was cool. I also thought it was cool because the script, even though the ideal of the script, right, is like women can do anything when they're united, it isn't written so that only
Yes.
women could play in that role. Like it's not about the fact that they have female typical genitals. It's just happens to be that they're women. So another reason why I don't find it like patronizing or anti-feminist, I don't know. If you think it's misandrist, then you're a bad guy. Because you think that you would be targeted by them. I don't know. Don't do shit that they kill people for.
I kind of dislike this kind of narrative. Maybe it's media, maybe it's people in general online, just like talking about everything like Wonder Woman or Black Widow were the first kind of female-led movies and stuff. Like Mila Djokovic for Resident Evil was doing it for years. Angelina Jolie was doing it for Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, like
Yeah,
hello.
Uma
Alien
Thurman
1
in
and
Kill
2.
Bill. Like, come on.
Before that, hey,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk
And
about
Linda
Alien.
Hamilton. Yeah, this is
Oh,
ridiculous.
yes, there you go. Hello. But also, like, I don't know. That shit is
Like Terminator 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it, and Linda Hamilton is like more badass than him at times. And he's the
time, like all the time, because he's fucking. It's like he is a fucking Terminator. She's a woman.
Yeah.
Like she's
That should be the
going, she's
byline of the
not.
movie.
They can't. Shit. It should be actually.
She's ripped in that movie as well.
Between Kindergarten Cop and Terminator, and they have settled down and are raising a child. Sort of, we'll pull it from Fast and Furious. What was 9?
Yes.
Is what just came out.
Which I haven't watched yet.
He's like, Fast and Furious. That's what I call music. 7,494. Like that's what the Fast and Furious is becoming. It's becoming now. That's what I call the Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious is like, oh, turn over to their side. There's more.
We didn't just jump the shark. We fucking went into orbit, bitch.
That scene is terrible. Oh my god.
No. But yeah, anyway, I really like Gunpowder Milkshake, and if you don't, we'll fucking fight. And I have a crew of women who support me, so you're gonna die.
It's on Netflix as well, just to let everyone know.
Yeah.
We can get that across.
It's on Netflix. Karen Gillan is Irish. She is Scottish.
Gosh.
And you can only hear it like once. I did hear it once. But she was like yelling something, and I was like, okay, that is hard.
It reminds me of when the Batman trailer came out, and it took people a while, but nobody knew it was Colin Farrell at first, and because the makeup was brilliant and stuff like that. But I knew straight away because he just has that accent there. He said something like, "This guy's crazy," or something like that. But I just knew straight. Oh, that's Colin Farrell. He didn't hide his Irish accent there at all. And people were like, "Who's that one character?" I'm like,
also a national treasure. Hey, you're Welsh, right? You're the Welsh guy. So
damn, Zach.
Also on Netflix. I'm just
they call Zach an artist. Really? You can't even get. Yeah, I don't know. Zach.
He's trying to cast you, man. In his story, you're a Welsh guy. Just accept it.
Exactly. I need you so badly to just like refute. He'll be like, "But you sound Irish," and just be like, "No, no." Yeah. Just like use to let it go.
Yeah.
There is. This is unrelated, but it is
people
on Netflix.
DM'd me actually. You know what's funny? People DM me on because I put on TikTok. People DM me and it goes, "You're a fucking liar. You have an Irish flag in your profile." It's actually just real meta. I just said nothing. I just ignore it. I just like, yeah, well, that's what he said. Me. I think I'm mad.
Get like.
Oh, what's it called when somebody like the fraud? Like if I took your credit card information or something. What's that kind of called?
Fraud?
Yeah, something like that. It's like, but I'm doing
fraud,
a clout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a clout fraud. That's what I am. I'm just doing it.
Yes. You're stealing the Welsh identity. No one can be Welsh but you. You're stealing it all from everyone. I don't know. There's like maybe some Welsh cultural police. You're supposed to be Welsh, not French, dude. Only the French are allowed to have culture police.
Don't tell anybody, but me and Zach were like, you know what'd be funny, Zach? What? You said I was Welsh.
To new people who are watching or who might be watching in the future. This is an inside joke, so please don't get offended. Yeah.
No.
What did you say, Amanda?
I'm saying I heard that there was a psychological condition of thinking. Najeed, you sent it to me. What is it?
Yeah. It was yeah. Hold on.
Did Craig send it? I don't remember.
Yeah, that was posted by Heavy Spoilers. So there's basically a term for people who think they are friends with or related to celebrities just by watching them on media or TV, or who form these psychological relationships
I'll be right
in their heads about that person. So there's a term for that, and right now I'm not able to find it, but yes, that's a real thing. It's parasocial interaction. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Kind of like me and Jared Leto, so. They're all
Maybe.
inside jokes. Nobody's going to get any of this stuff whatsoever.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the Suicide Squad? People might understand that.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know what you guys think of this movie. I really loved it, and I would definitely watch the sequel and the sequel to that sequel and the sequel to that sequel. And I just wasn't expecting. Well, I was kind of expecting it to be good, and it was good. So I liked it. What did you think? In retrospect, were you excited for this movie before it was coming out?
Not really. I don't even remember watching the trailer first. Posters were okay. I just seen a milkshake. I remember. Um, but yeah, no. If you like John Wick, Atomic Blonde, Nobody, movies like that, then you'll probably like this movie as well. I'm a big fan of those ones. So yeah, and it has Marvel star Karen Gillan. So worth
Ah,
checking out.
so good. My last word on this movie is that I was really worried that it wasn't going to be good.
Me too.
Very worried. And I am so relieved that it's great. And
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna watch it again. Like, I watched it, I think Wednesday night, as soon as I could. And I haven't been able to watch it since because I've been working. I'm not really a repeat movie watcher so much. I like to watch a movie and then just think about it for 6 months and then maybe rewatch it. But
Yeah, but like, did I watch that and watch it again?
exactly. But I'm gonna rewatch this. It's just fun.
Yeah,
It's so
absolutely. So
can't wait until you can see it, Welsh guy. Can you even can you watch it now? Is it available for you?
I've watched it.
Wait, what?
he has seen it, Amanda.
I'm not gonna tell anybody. But I know from Rachel when it comes out.
What? I've watched it. It came out here Wednesday. Same for you guys.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rachel told me it comes out in September.
I've watched it.
Anyway,
Rachel?
I'll show you later.
Rachel, I believe you. I believe that you watched it. I'm saying, did you watch it locally?
I'm not saying it on a stream.
Anyway.
What I was saying was also on Netflix. Also on Netflix. Please don't hate us.
Yes.
There is a true crime story based in Wales, and I'm obsessed with it right now.
Which one?
I'm gonna
And I didn't do it.
Which one? Because I love watching those, and
Oh, God. It's also a miniseries.
One genre on Netflix
it's the one in Cork.
Sophie, A Murder in West
Right,
Cork.
that's on my list.
That's not Wales.
It's Ireland.
Wales.
Thank you, God. Thank you.
It's Ireland, yeah.
My brain right now, I swear to God. Also, what's cool about it is they talk about how the I don't know if they call it a mountain or a hill, but the house where this person was murdered was on a hill, and local legend says that the last wolf in Ireland lives on that hill. And now I have a follow-up question. There's more wolves in Ireland, right? There's they're not gone.
Yeah, you can see loads of them in the zoo. There's no wolves running around Ireland. In the zoo is probably the only place. In the zoo is probably the only place.
Okay. I'm okay. Anyway, so there's a local legend lore about don't go up that hill because a bad thing from the woods will come and eat you, children.
See, we've got people over dramatize that banshees are very popular here, even though never seen one. Ghosts are very popular here as well, but never seen one. So
ghosts are, I think, popular everywhere.
Yeah, but there's loads of stories about this place here. There's
Ireland is to me, Ireland gives a very spooky castle vibe. The whole
there's
place,
loads of them.
they're just
there's I'm where I live. There's a castle 5 minutes that way, 10 minutes that way. Just down the street, there's castle. There's castles everywhere.
And they're all haunted.
I think so. Yes. Well,
That's busy. That's
So
a
when are we getting
busy.
your short film about going
Chris
inside one?
Stuckman's doing it. Chris Stuckman's doing it. Stole my idea. Damn it.
But yeah, I'll definitely check that movie out, that show out, because that was on my list. For one genre on Netflix that I don't even read the description or watch the trailer or anything. It's true crime. Just
Yeah.
if it's on the front page, I'll just press play. That's it.
Watching. I would rather traumatize myself now so that I know how the fuck to get out of a locked trunk. You know,
Yeah.
like my mother-in-law thinks I'm the fucking weirdest person ever. She would never use that word, by the way. Fucking. I mean, uh, and she's like, I don't know why you enjoy that. And I'm like, it's not really, enjoy is not the word I would use. It makes me feel like I'm safe because I'm not being murdered right now. And
Jared,
that's reassuring.
yeah. And Jared Leto was asked the same question one day, I think in one of the interviews for The Little Things. He gave the best answer, I think. He said, at the core of these stories, it's really about heroes and villains again, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's again what's fascinating.
And,
The villain is on the loose, and at the end they get captured. You know?
and almost all true crime stories that have like movies or film or TV or whatever made about them are resolved.
Yeah.
So like I'm not watching it because the bad guy gets away, right?
Or you
I'm
want the
watching
bad guy
it.
to get away. It's about
Yeah,
them
but
getting the
Look at what they're
justice.
looking. Okay, is it Tig? Is it Tig Notaro?
I kind of like watching those documentaries and movies based on like Charles Manson or Ted
Hmm.
Bundy and even O.J. Simpson, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I like those. They're very, very interesting.
You're Amanda, there's a different stream for
This is
that.
the first time in my life that I have heard anyone say Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, or O.J. Simpson, and I believe he belongs there. So
Yeah.
thank you.
I saw that one as well. Even
Yeah.
I'm just saying that is a grouping of three. Like
Yeah.
most people would not put O.J.
Well,
Simpson in the three, but he
yeah,
belongs.
Mm,
but those are like stories that I've kind of read books about, watched documentaries, watched movies, shows about, and those kind of been one of the best ones made that I've watched. That's why I probably picked those ones, but there's been loads more. But I did like Zac Efron as Ted Bundy. I just thought maybe the script wasn't
I haven't
what
seen
it
the
probably
No,
movie.
should have been.
script wasn't. I mean, the storyline was the pacing was off in that movie.
It didn't present what it presented in the trailers. It was like more of a,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just I was expecting more of him killing or manipulating women and stuff like that, but we got none of that.
I wanted it to be more like what You is like.
Yeah,
I wanted to feel
Yeah.
like
is
he's
brilliant.
menacing to me, but that's not how they did it. They made it so that he was menacing to other people that weren't
the girl
relate to.
girl
Yeah.
who loved him, his white girlfriend, her.
Yeah.
So she was probably manipulated the worst. Even like mentally, her.
I can't even imagine. How would you survive that? How do you survive that?
And she thinks every single time, like he said, he loved her or they kissed, it was all just him manipulating her. And she fell for it every single time. Like the people he killed, he just did it once to them, then he killed them.
Right.
Or he did it over and over again.
And she not only did she fall for that, but she also was blind, either willfully or ignorantly or whatever, to the fact that he was spending
Yeah.
hours going out and murdering people. Honey, he's not coming home, and the problem.
You know when, love makes people blind, and when they get manipulated, they don't think straight, and sometimes you lie to
Like the
yourself.
only thing that's ever made me blind, you know? Love.
Sometimes you tell lies to yourself, and you know that there's something wrong, but you keep lying to yourself that no, it's fine. I'm just overthinking, and whatever the reasons are, external or internal, So that can be realistic, you know. When I first heard of those
Then
types
I
of,
want to see the movie from her, like as
yeah,
her as the main character.
I haven't
That
seen
would
the
be.
movie. I saw the actual Ted Bundy show, then I didn't feel like I needed to watch a dramatized, movie out of it.
I'm surprised
Um,
that the same team that did the documentary did the movie. Probably should have just stuck with the
Yeah.
I've
same
seen.
director, I think.
I've seen the movie. I've seen all the documentaries. I've listened to all the podcasts.
I don't know what it's called, but when I was younger, I don't know how I watched it, but I watched it must have been like a TV movie of Ted Bundy,
yes.
and he in the actual movie it shows him not doing the horrific stuff to the women, but actually killing them, going in. You know the one where he goes into like a dorm room at a college and just
Nurses.
kills them in their
USA.
sleep. They actually showed this in the movie, and I was watching when I was younger.
One of them survived that shit.
Yeah,
And he fucking, like, here's the thing. Ted Bundy, all right, now I'm going to get weird. Ted Bundy was particularly brutal because well, first of all, he was a necrophile. So, like, he would rape people, kill them, and rape them again. But he also, the thing that, like, I always hated is that he bit his victim, like, he would, like, take chunks of flesh out of them usually from their boobies. I think one woman he bit her stomach, one he bit her butt cheek or something, but like it was usually on their boobies. And I'm just like, respect the titty, you know? So it's one thing to kill someone, it's another thing to like mutilate them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to talk about mutilation, we should really talk about Ed Gein. They're never going to fucking make that movie. Ed Gein is the guy that Buffalo Bill is based off of. Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Ed Gein is the guy that Buffalo Bill is based off. Ed Gein maybe killed his mom, or maybe she died of natural causes. I don't remember. But after she died, he had like a weirdly incestuous relationship with her. So after she died, he taxidermied her.
right. That's right.
And he took the skin of his other victims and like stitched it into a mom suit so he could like wear it and pretend to be his mom. And he made like lamps and sofas and shit like that out of dead human skin. And he liked to like collect nipples. Like he just had like nipples and vulva just like laying around. So yeah, that's that. Again, mutilation. Little beyond just like a killer. Like
Mm-hmm.
trying to think of a killer. I don't know.
But I always found Zodiac Killer.
No, I'm trying to think of the. I'm trying to think
He
of
was
the
never
guy.
caught.
Suge Knight, not like Suge Knight.
I don't know.
Suge Knight, rapper, ordered Tupac dead. Also,
Oh.
like ran over a guy with his truck and killed him and went to prison for it. Is in prison right now, I think, for that. You guys remember this?
Nope.
Not that young. My God. All right, whatever.
So anyway.
Fine. Anyway, true crime.
Gunpowder
Milkshake is not true crime, but if it were, I would watch it.
Yeah. Definitely check it out. We loved it, and let us know what you think.
And check out my 3-part series on Ted Bundy podcast going to use.
Yeah,
so the next topic.
It's your aesthetic if you're really into the 60s and 70s right now.
Yeah.
And
also
I'm into it, but not into it that much.
Speaking of the violence, the next topic. I'm so good at segues today. I'm just so proud. Anyway, speaking of the violence, the next topic here is the Suicide Squad. And the early reaction reviews came out for that. And they are interesting. I didn't expect them to be this.
No.
So I'm going to be reading some of these. And
before you do this, I want to ask, as we listen, let's consider whether or not we feel these are like PR inflated.
Yeah.
or whether or not we think these are like really genuine. This is my takeaway from it.
Yeah. So first review is from Fico. The tweet
Oh
is
God, I love shit. Yeah.
the tweet is the Suicide Squad is fantastic. A no holds barred superhero comics bonanza, unpredictable in story, unique in style, and full of risks, which is good. It's also violent and hilarious, which was expected. Action set pieces are insane. Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, and the rest of the cast are awesome. James Gunn has done it again. So, firstly, this is kind of surprising to hear that only few people are mentioning Idris Elba in this movie, and everyone is just praising King Shark, Margot Robbie, obviously, and James Gunn's directing. But this is one interesting review that also mentions that it's violent and also unpredictable. These two things are fairly common in this. So, do you guys have any thoughts on this particular tweet?
Is unpredictable like, is it good that it's unpredictable?
Yes.
Is it disjointed or is it unpredictable? Those are different things. And I worry that with the like bombastic, exaggerated, everything in this movie is bigger than it needs to be kind of feeling, that it could feel disjointed instead of just extra, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I want it to be good. So
The thing is, like, it's a tweet. There's so much words you can put into a tweet.
Yeah.
So when I see first reactions to movies and they're positive, then I actually like that, because if you were given, I don't know how many characters is on Twitter, if you were given that to speak once a day, wouldn't you want to say good stuff rather than bad stuff? So the Suicide Squad movie,
not everyone, Sean. You're the minority.
yeah, Twitter can be a bit of a bitch. The people on it can be even worse. But no, I don't mind these first reactions. For them to say something positive that they liked about the movie within this tweet, then that's okay with me. Like, I'm sure in a greater detailed review, it wouldn't be Kubrick, it wouldn't be Scorsese's grandest piece and everything. So they're going to have some things that they don't like, but I'd rather hear about the good things rather than just the bad things.
Yeah.
That tweet makes me think I'm going to have fun watching it. Even if the story feels disjointed to me, I'm going to have fun watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of what the Suicide Squad should be. Like, that's the role they should fill. It should be ridiculous, fun. Sorry, there's a fly. I'm just doing Tai Chi.
I could be the worst movie reviewer in the world, because I always find something good in movies that I can enjoy.
Me
I gotta
too.
talk about the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't like a movie, like, I'll just give one for example. I don't like doing this. I don't particularly like Captain Marvel. But I don't go on Twitter and Instagram every day and say, I hate Captain Marvel. It was terrible. I reviewed it once when it came out. I said what I didn't like about it. I said what I liked about it. And that was it.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about stuff I do like. And I like Black Justice League or Avengers Infinity War or Loki.
Joker, maybe? Walking Dead?
I love Joker. Joker is amazing. And I love Walking Dead. So I talk about things I love. I don't have a poster up of a movie I hate.
I'm sorry. I know.
Are you sure, Sean?
I still don't hate the Avengers. I think it's
I
don't hate.
My favorite is that, like, the Avengers is a little bit blurry in your background. So in my head, in order to make it more acceptable to me, I've just turned them all into characters from Lord of the Rings. Thor is Legolas. Iron Man is Gandalf. The big dude in the back is the Balrog. Anyway, so
can you see the two little ones beside the walking under the Avengers? These
the two little ones. The elf and kick. What's the ball? What is that one?
You see it, no?
I can see it, but I don't remember what it's called. It's
Will
the one
Ferrell
with
movie.
dodgeball.
No,
What?
he did a basketball one called Semi Pro.
Oh wow, that's old. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That scratched an itch in my head. But the Elf is classic. That's classic.
I don't have cinema on my wall. I just have movies that I really enjoy.
Dude, movies that you really enjoy and cinema don't have to be mutually exclusive, you know? And also, like, I don't know, dude. People who are like cinema snobs are the most boring fucking
Yeah.
snobs in the whole world. Like, just let people like what they like, dude. I don't even. Here's the thing. I don't really care that much for Avengers. It's not because I have any sort. It's not because of like back channel issues, political studio shit. It's not because of that. It's genuinely because like I don't feel compelled by any of the issues that the Avengers tackle. I don't feel compelled by any of them. I feel compelled by X-Men. I relate to that. Like I'm invested in that, but I'm just not invested in the Avengers. And like
Yeah,
they're
I enjoy
fun.
it.
I'll
I
watch
watch
it
it.
if it's on, but I don't, and that's okay. That's okay.
Like,
We'll just watch something else. We'll watch the Joker together.
yeah, but I have more. Marvel movie posters in my room than I do DC. I actually have no Zack Snyder posters in my room. I've got Guardians of the Galaxy. I've got Endgame. I've got Infinity
Because this
War.
is your fake house. Your real house is in Wales.
I know that it's not, but I'm really having fun imagining. Wait a minute. No, that is Castaway. You have Castaway?
No,
What
no,
the fuck?
we're
Not Castaway. Oh my god. I'm gonna walk it.
Are you Castaway? What?
that's Walking Dead as well.
Yeah.
Ah,
As soon as I saw it, I was like, no. No, I'm talking about the face, the X face with the fingerprints. The little
you
one.
guess what that is? Yeah, can you guess what it is?
That's Suicide Squad.
That is Suicide Squad.
I know. And so when I saw it, I said, "Oh, Castaway." And then as soon as I said it, I was like, "That's not fucking Castaway." I don't know. I'm done. I thought it was. What's the name of the volleyball? What is it
or
called? Whatever. I thought it was the volleyball.
I see what you
know
mean.
it.
The only other person acting in that movie is that fucking volleyball.
Wilson.
Winston! Yeah!
Nice.
Nice. Well done.
So yeah, the second review.
God, sorry.
Big tangents.
Let me take my ADHD medication before we go into there. Okay.
The second one comes from Film Poser Gabriella, who says,
Come on, how am I supposed to take this person seriously? Composer.
with a trademark as well. She says, the Suicide Squad is a gory and explosive time that perfectly encaptures the chaos and violence of the source material, which is good to
Okay.
hear.
Yes.
The cast is excellent together, and there's never a dull moment. Unexpected and fun. One of DC's best. So that is good.
Unexpected. Okay. Let me ask you guys this. What do you expect from the Suicide Squad?
I think a lot of these people, well, I expect it to be exactly what they're saying, because I know that the reason James Gunn is making this movie was for that particular reason, and he got the R rating to exactly do that. But I
Right.
think the trailers and a lot of people, expecting him to make a DC Guardians of the Galaxy, which no, that's not what's gonna happen. I think that's what is making these people say that it's unpredictable or unexpected and stuff like that. Because yeah, it's a Suicide Squad movie. It's supposed to have violence, and James Gunn being given the full freedom to do whatever he wants, he absolutely was going to do that. So I was
I
expecting this, and I'm glad that it's coming out.
Are the Suicide Squad anti-heroes or heroes to you?
They are villains. They're not
Ooh.
anti-heroes.
Um,
They
but
are
the
villains
thing
just
about
forced to work together to whatever, the mission, to do the mission. But they are still
the thing
villains.
about
But I would
source material
exclude
is
Harley Quinn from that, maybe.
Is she an
I don't
anti-hero?
know.
DCEU's Harley Quinn is kind of more complicated. She's not a straight up villain.
No, no.
Yeah. So I
But
would
I'm
exclude
Well, in
saying
the
her.
first one, they saved the world, though.
The first
Thank
one, that's what I didn't like about the first one.
But
I
that,
liked the movie,
yeah,
but I didn't like that they. Well, I know AR were forced to do that, but I didn't like that they weren't villains in that. Um,
they
they
were villains.
No, they were just told to be villains, and none of them actually were that villainous, except maybe um, um, uh, what's his name?
Well,
The fire guy,
Diablo.
El Diablo.
El Diablo, right? Except him, he basically killed his family. So yeah,
He
that
didn't do
kind
that
of
It was
intentionally.
an accident. Even
Yeah,
that was an accident.
yeah.
So
That's
like,
but
I
Harley
don't
Quinn,
like that.
Jeff, Jeff John's canon in the movies was that she killed a boy. She killed Robin. She killed a kid.
That's
yeah,
true.
I know it was different for Zach, but yeah. And then Will Smith's character was assassinating people,
yeah.
and
I
his
wouldn't say
daughter
that's a
finds out
villain
about
though.
it. Yeah, but
That's what
He's
I'm
a
saying.
professional.
Like, I really feel like
yeah,
that's why I
but
said, are they heroes or anti-heroes? Because I feel like Suicide Squad, Air's Suicide Squad was trying to take them from villain to anti-hero.
Yeah.
It was trying and I think it did a good job of doing that.
Yeah.
The movie could have been better overall. But I think that it did not put them as villains. It put them in there
Yep.
as anti-heroes. So I
That's
would be interested to see if this is villains. I
Yeah.
kind of want them to be like, fuck them kids and just
Yeah.
blow up a school bus.
I
Yeah.
think
I
the
hope
difference
so.
is in the first one, when their life is put on the line, I don't think I didn't feel that, oh, if they don't do this, they're going to die. Like in this one, they're doing it because they put the chip in the back of their head, and
Yes.
Yeah.
like, Weasel has killed 28 children, but he still wants to live, so he's going to have
Yeah.
he has to go and do this mission. So I think that might be a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
But then Idris Elba from the trailer just looked like not being like
Well,
I'm not being racist, but it's the same as Will Smith's character in the first one with his little daughter and stuff like that. Maybe it's different in the actual movie, but it just seems it seems then the rumors were true that he was supposed to replace Will Smith as Deadshot, and then last second Will Smith goes, "I might come back," and then they changed it to Bloodsport.
Yeah.
interesting. I see. This is interesting that you point out the difference in the motivation, right? The first one, it was
Mhm.
we were supposed to think it's because they don't want to die, but they didn't seem to be concerned about maybe dying,
Mhm.
right? But I feel like, and also like what they end up doing doesn't just serve them, it serves. So maybe because this is like very truly purely selfishly motivated, I just want to survive. I don't want my head to blow up. Maybe we'll get more like villain, straight villain
Yeah.
from them.
I
Selfish
hope so.
motivation. I'm not out here to fucking save the world. I just want to get this thing off the back of my head.
Yep. And the next one is from Kara Warner, and she says, "So this skeptic loved the Suicide Squad," which is again interesting to hear because a lot of people are not interested in this movie because it's a sequel to the movie they hated, right? And she goes on to say, "It is balls to the wall bonkers in very entertaining ways. If you're wondering where James Gunn and that super rad Suicide Squad cast would truly go there with the material and the R rating, indeed they do.
They're gonna kill kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, they kill kids. There's no way they don't.
yeah.
You know what I'm
thing that they're gonna kill kids.
You know what I'm really interested in? Because I think Amanda, you said like, what are you expecting from what is the Suicide Squad to you? What is the Suicide Squad to the general audiences that got to see it in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
They seen music on a great track. the relationship between Harley and Joker, Will Smith, a big movie star, box office star. And then they go into this one, and it's nothing like the
Yeah.
first movie. And the first movie grossed over 700 million. So obviously people liked it because they went back and they watched it without China. So I'm very interested to see what general audiences think of this one here, because it looks like it's going to be completely
Are
different.
they gonna? Oh my gosh! Are they gonna do the first one was Guardians of the Galaxy, and the second one is The Dark Knight Rises. Happen? Is that gonna be their take on it? Like, the Suicide Squad got really serious.
Too dark. I want the other one. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe read the title, of the movie.
They should have maybe. It could be a problem. I don't know. I know I say this a lot, but I think no Joker, no party. I think he was a big part of the success of the first one, and Batman, and that marketing was unbelievable. The marketing for this one has been, I would say, poor.
Yeah.
I'm not as.
Can we talk about that though? I genuinely feel that I haven't seen good marketing for like anything since COVID started.
Yeah.
I mean, like a really good, solid, well thought out, multi-channel, all that shit marketing campaign. I haven't seen anything get that.
Mm-hmm. The last time we saw that was in March.
Even that wasn't fully marketed.
Yeah. True.
What are we talking about?
Justice League.
Justice League?
Yeah.
Oh God, no, that wasn't fucking. That was not. No.
That's still more than Suicide Squad. They did.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they did so much for the fans, like involving them, early screeners, and all that shit. But Suicide Squad literally has nothing right now, and the trailers are severely underperforming.
So bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Like, I'm a DC fan and a Hardy fan. I'll watch this movie, no problem. But I'll say that the trailers have not got me any more excited than it was.
I think one of the reasons.
And I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm less excited after the trailers.
I think one of the reasons is because James Gunn is purposely hiding a lot of stuff that's in the movie that's not in the trailers. The trailers, they have the same fucking people over and over again. The half of the cast is not in the trailers, but he posted that picture.
And the new cast that the new cast that he puts in the trailer, no context. Yep. I don't know who the fuck these people are. I don't care.
Yeah. So maybe some of the main people they kept marketing die, So maybe that's the unpredictable part. But either way, yeah, it's fun to see how this plays out, because we're seeing the marketing, we're seeing the early reactions, and then we'll obviously see the movie and the fan reactions to it. So it's going to be interesting.
I am interested to see the
you,
difference between a fan reaction and a general audience reaction. John.
Yeah.
Sean is watching like a full week before us.
I'm seeing it in 12 days.
Anyway.
But you know what's also, I think that people are saying that it won't, but like his past comments could cause a bad social media reaction to the Suicide Squad. You know what I mean?
I think that doesn't have that big of an impact
in some ways. Yeah, but I'm saying like you look at George Miller and all he said, and all the toxic kind of Snyder fans who just love Snyder really shit on him, and that affected the perception of Jupiter's Legacy online.
Yeah,
it's something similar to the Suicide Squad. The perception from the toxic
I've seen people who are taking the stance that like supporting the Suicide Squad is supporting WB and therefore not supporting Zach and all of this stuff. And I would, to those, I would say, I respect that you want to do something out of principle. And I think that your principle might be the principle you're using to determine your behavior might not be one that Zach would recommend you use.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know the man. I can't speak for him. I just know like the character that he has, and I've never seen him trash somebody else's work.
He when we had him on stream, he said he sat down and watched it with his family, one room in '84. Like, his kids.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean?
and
Jeff
also
Johns's
like
movie.
he said he was excited. He's excited to see the Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
and he's excited to see the Batman.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, who are you really defending?
But
are you
he's just
defending?
very nice, Amanda. He will say that, but it doesn't mean that, that
No, actually,
excuse.
I've never seen him say things that he doesn't mean.
Yeah.
People pick and choose online.
There are people that do things that they feel they're forced to say, or they feel forced to play a nice game, but he didn't play a nice game. He stayed silent until he said his piece.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't talk out both sides of his mouth, I guess.
It's funny how they pick. Some people pick and choose, because Zach has publicly said that Warner Brothers are kind of against his vision and his future stories.
Yeah.
But then Zach turns around and says, "I'm excited for the Flash," or "I watched Shazam before," and then people are online are saying, "Oh, I support Zach because Toby Emmerich doesn't like him," and Zach has admitted that. But I'm not watching the Flash because I have my own opinion, and they pick and choose when they agree with Zach and when Zach, it's funny. I kind of.
And I'm not saying that they're not I'm not saying that people don't have good intentions, and I'm not saying that they don't feel that they're doing what they believe is best or what is like right or justice, right? But I think that, I don't know, something Steven always reminds me is like, what is the end result that you want from this? And if the end result that you want from this is that Zack Snyder gets his Justice League universe released with WB, because they own DC, I don't think he wants that.
Yeah.
He has not shown he's said, yeah, I'd like to tell that story because he's a storyteller and a visual artist. But I have not heard him say, like, can't wait to get back to the office with WB, like that's...
look at his Vero before Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and look at it after Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's all. The big difference.
And here's the thing. I think so I'm not trying to tell people watch it, don't watch it, boycott it, don't boycott it. I'm just saying, ask yourself why you really feel the way that you feel about it. If it really upsets you, ask yourself why. Like, why does it upset you? And check that with fact.
Yeah.
Check your reasoning, your feelings about it with fact.
Introspection with facts.
Yeah. Yes. But anyway, I think I'm excited for the Suicide Squad, not because it's James Gunn, not because it's whatever, but because I like the more adult and fun side of DC.
Yeah.
I like humor in my really awful, horrible hero villain stories. I like Venom. I like Deadpool. I like Suicide Squad. I don't know.
I haven't been excited for this movie with the trailers, but I'm still going to watch it because I like DC and these characters. But he's made Slither, which as a film I own on DVD. I love that movie. I don't know if you've seen it.
I'm going to watch it today, actually.
It's completely different than Guardians of the Galaxy. There's no way that the Suicide Squad are going to be anything like Guardians of the Galaxy or Slither. He changed it up. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, I like both of those movies, and they're in that Marvel formula. They're going to be similar, but Slither is just completely different, and it's weird. And Michael Rooker is in it as well.
Nathan Fillion.
It's so weird.
Nice.
It's so weird.
He wrote the screenplay too.
Yeah.
There's no one else credited. It's just him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his.
Slither is his the James Gunn movie that everyone praises.
By the way, you can rent it on Google Play Movies or from YouTube for $3.99.
Nice.
I got the physical media.
Or you can go over to Sean's house and watch the physical media.
I watch movies alone.
Okay, so question: how big? This is not related. How big is Ireland? How long does it take to drive from one end to the other? How
Really?
far away
Is
are
it
you
not
from Rachel?
related?
How far away are you from Jessica?
You see, how many more reviews of Suicide Squad do we have?
We have a couple more.
Son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
well,
Fine.
Ireland, Ireland from one side to the other, I don't know, 10 hours maybe. Up from north to south. Crossways will be 4.5. I'm about an hour
So
with
basically,
Jessica.
the answer is there's no excuse for you not all to hang out and be best friends forever. That's all. I just wanted to clarify.
Oh, there's an excuse, all right.
Anyway, the next
I
review
just, I
is.
just like hanging out. I like hanging out with myself.
Oh,
Nobody else is doing. I'm sure everybody is lovely.
the next review is
When they get me in shit, I don't know.
Robert Garcia. Can we please talk about the
Who is
reviews? Robert
Robin?
Garcia. I don't know who that
Okay.
is, but yeah. The Suicide Squad is
Robert
such.
Rodriguez.
No, not him. It's such.
Robin Hood?
It's such a fun, violent, and entertaining film that feels like a perfectly balanced mix of blood, comedy, and heart. James Gunn is a genius and takes full advantage of the hard R rating. This is definitely not a movie for kids. Oh, really?
Kids die. Told you, kids die.
Includes 2 post-credit scenes.
2.
Mm-hmm.
One for Peacemaker, and the other for the Snyderverse.
Ah, yeah, right. That's exactly why
You know
I'm
what I
watching
like
this
about?
movie for.
You know why I like the marketing? You can tell this is an R-rated movie. With Birds of Prey, you could not. And I think that's what kind of effed it over box office. Little girls couldn't go see Harley. This time they know exactly they can't go see Harley.
Yeah. I feel like I liked the first 3 descriptors they used: fun, violent, and entertaining.
Yeah.
That should tell you a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then
Yeah, it's cool too. Post-credit scenes.
yeah, that's
Exciting.
actually exciting because I like that format. Even any movie, I always sit back after the credits are rolling and check Google if they are, teasing something else or just something fun from the movie or something. Because I like, even when the older films used to just play the bloopers at the end and when the credits were rolling, I love that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, post credit
I
scenes are
like
just
playing the
amazing.
game in the credits. I like to watch for the most unique names and then
Yeah.
yell them out to each other while no one else is ever in the theater. They're always like, "Oh, it's done.
Yeah.
Bye." And Steven and I are sitting there like, "Oh, look, the director of photography is called I Am Butts."
You know what I look for? I look for my own name.
Yes, I do that. Except I don't. You mean your full name, or just Sean?
He
Just
he is in
I
some of the
don't know.
movies as a extra or a stand-in or something. So he usually finds his names on the credits.
I'm not always credited though.
Are you Greg Draven stand-in?
Yes.
I'm his butt double.
Okay. All right.
So the next
I
review.
already know what it looks like. I don't even need you to show me. I already know.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the next review
Back
is
to another review. God, I really didn't take my ADHD meds. Back to another review.
that the next review is
Peter
from
Dinklage is on double as well for other reasons. Go ahead there, Casey.
Ian Sandwell. He says any doubts you might have over the Suicide Squad will vanish after the outrageous opening. This is also one of my favorite things to hear because I love when the movie openings are really like bonkers and just get you right in. So I love that. And He goes on to say, it's a violent, hilarious, and unpredictable blockbuster, and everyone will have their own favorite from the terrific cast. It's just so entertaining that you will want to see again instantly. So, a lot of people are, repeating the same words again and again, but my favorite one is violent, of course, and then second one is unpredictable. These two things are, I think, are giving me more hope.
Yeah. The bonkers thing sounds like
James Gunny.
we're
I think
fucking loony.
that has to do just with the starfish thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm sure it does feel bonkers,
Yeah.
but like that word is so juvenile that it makes me like,
Be specific.
please don't let it be a fucking joke.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, tell jokes and make me laugh, but don't let the movie be a fucking joke.
Yeah.
I do like you said, when there's a really strong opener. I am, however, worried that if the opener is that strong, that they will keep trying to like outdo that level of cray cray and never really get there.
I think an opening credit, like opening scene, can be like Zach talked about how important it is to capture the audience's attention straight away. My attention was captured by the opening of Black Widow. I thought the opening of that was brilliant, and then after that, it kind of went a little bit downhill in certain scenes. So hopefully, either this could be Suicide Squad downhill, or it could actually just be the start of something that's great. So,
it doesn't sound like I will be disappointed. Like it goes energy, but I don't know. Just worried. I'm just worried. The marketing has me worried.
I think Gunn can pull it off because his one thing he does really well is structure his films in a great way. So even if the middle part is kind of boring or you're not that interested, I know that his opening and the ending will definitely be good. His ending, I don't know what this movie is because a lot of people are saying it's unpredictable, but he knows how to give a heartwarming ending. So I think he'll nail the ending for sure.
Harley Quinn's gonna give birth at the end
to another Bruce.
Little tiny Jared Leto.
So the next review is from Jeff D, movierankings.net, and he says had the chance to see Suicide Squad a few weeks ago, and my goodness, was it awesome. I don't know why he waited a few weeks to say that. It explodes off the screen. You'll love the characters, epic scale, awesome action. It's beyond deserving of the R rating, by the way. Wild stuff.
They kill kids. There's no way they don't kill kids.
Yeah.
He's gonna face some shit if he does that, especially over speed.
Yeah, but I mean, they're the Suicide Squad. Like, if I keep hearing
what
they
if
took
King
it there,
Shark eats kids?
Rating, not a movie for kids, and I'm like, what is the most offensive thing to me? Mother.
Yes.
An exclamation point. That's the most offensive thing to me.
That's exactly.
Gonna fucking see.
That's exactly why I love it, Amanda.
I might have to watch it now. I might. Ooh, fuck.
I'm
gonna have to make.
You brought up an excellent point about the children thing, because I think even the most horrific movies, or the hard R or slash or whatever, they always shy away from hitting children and killing children, but Mother didn't, and that was the first time I was like, whoa, he went there.
And like, if a kid, like for example, in I don't know, any superhero movie, you see a kid in a building, and then like the building gets hit by aliens, and then the building collapses. Like they don't show the kid fucking dying and like falling like under the rubble. Like that's not how that happens. So even if we know that there's child death in a movie, we don't see it. It's not emphasized. It's like very much brushed under the rug. I don't think he's do that at all. I think he's gonna like
three movies that stick with me throughout my life and will forever. Where a kid dies is Mad Max, number one.
Oh,
where the motorcycle, Pet Cemetery, where the little kid walks out and the lorry comes. Terrible scene. And what was the third one? Punisher with
Oh fuck!
with John Travolta and I have it on DVD. What is it?
Did you
The
say
guy who
you
plays
mean
Punisher.
Travolta? You mean John Bernthal?
No, no.
No, that one as well, but also in the movie one they do the same. You get to see the kid die.
Oh.
The show
Yeah.
as well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, that's what makes a lot of horror movies have so much tension. For example, A Quiet Place, not interesting without the kids.
Yeah.
Like, but because the kids are there, we have that, like, every human being on the planet who isn't a sociopath has the innate biological instinct to, like, protect
Mhm.
the young of our species. And so, I don't know how you can get more like they crossed the line than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, people are going to have, especially
Yeah.
about the tweets.
Yep.
Oh, they're
Absolutely.
going to come back up. Oh, no.
So the next one is from John Nguyen, I think.
Win. Nguyen.
Yes,
Win.
Gwen. And he
There you go.
says the Suicide Squad is one big playground for James Gunn, and you can tell he loved playing in every corner of it. The cast is out of this world, and the film is the bloodiest DCU film yet. The highlights are Killer Shark and Polka Dot Man. I like this one. It's interesting because he said Polka Dot Man, which nobody said yet.
But I've heard that, though. I've heard that Polka Dot Man is, like, really interesting.
Nice.
Who plays him? I'm looking it up now.
Oh, that's David.
That's
Yeah.
Mike Mullen.
That's Malchian, I think.
Malchian. David, that's Malchian.
What has he
But
done?
you go Ant-Man, Gotham, on Halloween,
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Dang!
He's literally in every comic book movie.
Apparently, he's playing the Penguin in Part 2 of Long Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fuck all your noise. He was in 12 Monkeys. Fuck yeah.
Nice. But yeah, that character is very weird, and I'm glad that someone thinks that he's awesome in the movie, because that's kind of like reality breaking for me. I know it's a comic book movie. I know there's a shark man with a shark head, but polka dots is kind of, very ridiculous to me. But I'm glad that
honestly, the polka dot sounds a lot like the real medical condition called lymphedema, because he has to wear that outfit is to make pressure on his skin so that the polka dots don't just like leak out. But they every day they come out of his skin. They like.
Yeah, I think the polka dots in this movie are natural from his body.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does sound like that.
They're like I don't know, like a cyst or something that has to come out every day.
Interesting. So the final one is from Eric Davis, who is the man from Fandango and Rotten Tomatoes. That's literally his bio. I had the best time watching The Suicide Squad. It is a swing for the fences kind of comic book movie, and I love that. It's big, bold, visually stunning. You'll see James Gunn's horror roots splattered all over this thing. It's violent but hilarious, angry but also very sweet, which is cool.
I'm concerned that he had the best time watching The Suicide Squad. Hope that is
well, he works for Rotten Tomatoes, so you know how they are. I'm just kidding.
I can't believe anything that he just said. That's cool. I keep hearing he really swung for the fences, and I don't hear and he nailed it, and I'm a little worried.
Some people called him a genius for this movie, and some of the other I've read said that this is the best DCU movie yet. And Some said that this is the best James Gunn movie yet. So I kind of tune out those because they are in the hype and just
Yeah.
probably write it because of the hype or to get James Gunn attention, whatever. So the best ever things I always tune out because every new movie is the best ever movie, right? For some people. So I just
And also, the best is inherently subjective.
yeah,
So, like, you can't say something is the best ever,
yeah,
period, because that's not how
yeah,
it's not how language works.
yeah. And also it might be that good, like for a lot of people it might be that good. But I'm just saying that I don't take that word until I see the movie.
It gives me, I will say this, these reviews give me hope that I will not be, that my worst fears will not be confirmed. But right now, I just have worry about it. Um, but now I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic.
Nice.
Don't fucking
I'm a,
disappoint me, James Gunn.
apparently I'm a Hamada and James Gunn, Dan, Toby Emmerich. So I'm going to love this movie no matter what. So I already have my review in my notes for this film. So I went to post it.
Some people will take that seriously, right?
Fuck them. Yeah, yeah. They already said I got paid by Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
got paid by Warner Brothers. I wouldn't have Avenger posters on my wall. I had posters. Never mind.
Yeah. Without getting too much into it, I would say that if you are intrigued, excited, interested in this movie, go watch it. Early reaction reviews seem to be interesting and they seem to be positive. But that's also the only ones that he retweeted, so that might be
Is that
selected.
one a League of Their Own or Fried Green Tomatoes up there?
Oh,
Next to Avengers. No, next to Avengers, but up top, up high.
yeah.
Yeah, that side. Up above February. League of Their Own.
Oh, no, that's a
Fried green
sports,
tomato.
sports poster.
Mm.
So
There's
yeah.
no, there's no, there's no posters of me naked on the wall. So stop looking.
So yeah, make up your own mind is basically what I'm saying. And it's no don't let anyone tell you that you can't watch this movie or else or you need to watch this movie or else. Either way, just make up your own mind. And don't think that watching this movie or not watching this movie is going to have any effect on the Snyderverse or anything else because that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. If this movie fails, nothing is gonna happen to the Snyderverse. If this movie is $1 billion success, whatever, nothing's gonna happen to the Snyderverse. That's its own thing, and that will be a separate issue, not related to this. So
Yeah.
don't let anyone tell you that it is
We
because it's stupid.
we already know that like the success of Zack Snyder's Justice League was not the gas pedal that
Exactly.
Warner Brothers needed pumped. So like because it had success and they were like that's not enough. So um I'm not threatened or concerned about the success or failure of other DC properties. Like I don't know. They're not interested in making money. Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't
They don't want to work with
When
Zack,
the
and it doesn't matter if the new movies fail or succeed. They're just not gonna work with
they don't
Zack.
suddenly like Zach
Yeah,
more. Yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
Until there's a complete like refreshment of like every fucking person there.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not going to happen. That won't even happen. Even if this fails miserably,
Yeah.
like the worst WB has ever released, that still wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So
even when the Snyder Cut wasn't even coming over the hill, I still went to go see Aquaman, Wonder Woman, even Wonder Woman 84, and I like those movies. not as good as what we could have gotten. But I'm not going to sit there with my arms crossed in the theater saying, "Oh, we could have got this." I'm just going to watch what's there.
Yeah.
I don't make these films. I don't finance these films. I pay to see them, and maybe they should listen to the fans more. But hopefully, the next crew that comes in as executives or owners will listen to the fans more.
There's a young guy, I don't know his name, but he plays for the Bruins here in the US, and he was asked, he's like 20 something, very young, and he was asked, everyone talks about like your attitude and your mental game and how that's like your strength, and like,
I saw that video.
Yeah, oh god, man, it just, what do you like, how do you do that? And he said, basically they were asking, why are you so mature?
Yeah.
And
he's 26, I think.
Said, yeah, 20, 24, 26. So, yeah, youngish. And he said, if you talk about what you've done in the past, that's your ego. So it's like, oh, well, we did this. It was so great. I did this. It was so great. That's your ego at play. You talk about what you're going to do in the future. Oh, I'm going to make this. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. I'm going to la, la, la. That's your pride. And I just try to stay present in the moment and not worry about what happened in the past or what's happening in the future, but just be in the moment. And that's humility in the present moment. And I think that, like, that's kind of how I look at the whatever is out at the moment. Like, the past issues that I've had and the future issues that I will have don't exist at that moment. I just get to watch the movie, right? It doesn't mean that I have to like pretend that context doesn't exist. It's just like, let yourself be present.
Mm-hmm.
You get fucking wrapped up in shit that happened or shit that hasn't even fucking happened yet, and you're only going to be miserable. There is no way to be happy that way. So, I don't know. Are you going to watch it in time now, Sean? Do I need to come over? I'll watch it with you. I like it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have it on after this. I'm obsessed with it, but it makes me feel good. So,
Heck yeah. If it makes you feel cool, you should fucking watch it.
Better than doing something that makes me feel bad about myself. So.
Sucker Punch makes me feel like I'm fucking badass and that I literally, like, I get to fucking dictate the world that I live in now, which just resonates with me so much as a mom. Like, I have so many fucking problems with my family of origin, and it's not to say I don't love my brother and my sister and my mom like I do, but there's just fucking lot of shit there. And to be a mom who gets to now like build my own world for my kids and like the family that we live in and what our family is like, what we believe in, what we stand for, is so fucking healing, dude. It is so healing. And so every time I watch Sucker Punch, I'm just like, they can't take it from me. They cannot take what I've made from me. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's my own fucking brain trying to take it from me. Can't do it, bitch. And yeah, everybody should have a movie that makes them feel that way. Like, just, I can do the thing. Najeed, what's yours? Mother?
No, I would say John Wick or Gunpowder Milkshake.
Okay. Wait a minute. You're saying that you're a guy, but you feel like strong and cool watching.
Oh no, I thought that was not possible. How?
I'm sure we all have a movie as well. I have a movie.
Listen,
I won't say what it is.
Sucker Punch is my first Zack Snyder movie. And that was the movie that made me fall in love with Zack Snyder.
That's his original vision.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, what does that say about me? You know?
Yeah. 300 was my first. But
Mine was.
I have never been so confused. Yeah,
how does he?
I wish. Never been so confused about how he made a like weirdly effeminate but also hyper masculine 8 foot tall dude look hot but also terrifying at the same time. Like, I want to swing on your nose rings, but also I know you'll behead me, but like maybe it's such an honor to die this way. I don't know. Just lots of confusing feelings about 300.
Speaking of children who died, this girl died in the opening sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah. But was it a girl though?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Well, I guess if we look at Army of the Dead as then yeah, it was maybe more sentient being than we care to admit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The drugs, huh?
Yeah. Sniffy dust. Pancake mix.
Sugar.
So yeah, with that,
Yeah,
all
seeing
of
Starsky and Hutch and Stiller and him. Sugar.
You're talking about the new one, right? Like the new.
Yeah, the Todd Phillips one.
Yeah.
That was funny.
so yeah, with that, we have wrapped up all the topics, and we had a lot of fun talking to you, Amanda. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me. Hello to the 1% of female viewers. Subscribe.
Yes, please.
There are more than 1% of females that watch this. I know. So
I
just
know.
We actually have a pretty good, pretty big female fan base. So.
well, yeah. I am quite large.
So you can follow us. You can follow us at The Real Talk Live on all social media, and you can follow me at Krypton Cage on all social media. Where can they find you, Maher?
Yeah, you can find me at Movies That Matter on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and all social media. I also started my an OnlyFans where I just post pictures of my beard. So
Holy fuck.
yeah, so it's 5 cents a month. So little steep, but it's worth
Hi.
cool.
You can also find Najeed at 9FX Music.
Yes, you can. Where can they find you, firstly?
Usually like in my basement. You can also find me on Twitter at Pie Sugar Pie, except everywhere you think there's an E, it's the number 3, and I'm sorry about it.
Because she's cool.
Is that what that says?
Yeah, Pie Sugar Pie.
Oh, I just it made me have an epileptic fish every time I looked at it.
Because she's cool, man. K3WL.
Yeah, it's just because I like making pie a lot, and my family used to
apple pie.
Yes, apple pie, Dutch caramel apple pie is like probably my favorite to eat, but I like making other stuff.
Make, rhubarb.
Yes. Strawberry rhubarb or just regular rhubarb? Either way.
Regular, if you can.
It's so good, dude. I'm obsessed. I'm like literally about to plant some rhubarb at my place this fall. You have to plant it in the fall. I'm really good at making pies, and it's science. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter there. You can also find me like rambling pretty much anytime I haven't had my fucking ADHD medication, like right now.
Down the street.
Yes.
And
also the League of Mayhem. We will be I think we'll have a full house, which is pretty exciting, next Tuesday. So watch it every other Tuesday, League of Mayhem on the Nerd Queens channel. Yeah, on FX.
I don't know why that comes to my head because I watch shows just like only on FX.
It's true.
Sorry.
Or this is what is it? TBS. This is comedy.
Yeah.
Is that theirs? I don't remember. But my whole life is a fucking joke. So.
Yeah.
But it's not over yet, so it might get better.
Oh, it's gonna get. Listen.
Funnier.
I'm already this eccentric. Can you imagine me as an old woman? I'm gonna have negative fucks to give. It's gonna be so good. Oh, I can't wait.
Cool.
Allison Crow thinks that I sing okay.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
all.
great. So yeah,
Thanks, Sam.
thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Jason. I think you're still in the chat. Thank you for staying until the very end and listen to us talk about random shit. And also follow everyone here, and to stay updated. We'll be back on Wednesday. Yes. Oh, you're going to a set? Is that what it is?
Cool. I bought this today.
Nice.
Oh.
I've got chalk. I can write on it.
Oh. Are you gonna start practicing your Zach block type?
Yeah. I can only direct myself, so I just do this and then have the camera.
And then your beard, and you're like, is it? I'm not even kidding. Is it seriously just like you playing with it, or is it just pictures of your beard?
Well, previously that was a joke. I don't really have an OnlyFans for my beard.
Now I'm just.
If I did, I'd definitely be very adventurous. I'd probably put stuff in it. I would probably dye it and just fuck around with it, you know.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. Like you should have one where you like do like a tough mutter, but it's like all like slow mo, so you look really cool and epic, and then the beard is just fucked all the fucking way up, and then like the end of the movie is you like showering it all off, but we don't actually see your face, eyes, any of that shit, just the whole time.
Yeah, I was contemplating to become a priest, and instead of baptizing the child would just like take a strand of hair from my beard, just pull it. They would be baptized. And I was
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to catch on.
I'm gonna remember this for October.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.